Hello everyone, and welcome to a brand new campaign. Yes, we're going to be playing a lot more Anbennar because I love this mod and I want to experience as many mission trees as I possibly can. And today, because we are recording this, or streaming this, if you will, on the 21st of December, which happens to be Yuletide, right? It's the shortest day of the year. It's Yule. We are going to be looking at nations that have something to do with winter, and I think there's one nation above all others that is like super into the whole winter thing, and no, it ain't frozen more, despite, the name. We are going to be heading over to Erdend, all the way over in Elantir, and we are going to be taking a look at Gemradcurt, led by Esbag Imarail Winterswrath. And she leads the Winter Court here in Gemradcurt. So I think it is a good idea for us to experience this mission tree and experience this campaign. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. So let us hop right in to Gemradcurt. I have a vague idea of what is coming, but I have not jumped in and read through all of the missions in the mission tree. So I am somewhat going into this a little bit blind. So we're going to have to, enjoy it together. So, what is our situation? The cataclysmic day of ashen skies forced the survivors of the ancient Erdend to move into the Domendrod, where they were met with open arms by the Fey spirits. For countless years, the precursor survivors served the Fey as loyal attendants and began to worship them as guiding masters. The first Erdend Ruinborn were born of this connection, being steeped in the magic from Domendrod being halfway into the Fey realm. The Erdend were taught a series of rules to live by, finding harmony through respecting the laws of nature. This apprenticeship did not last. For a century or so, the Fey became tired of tending to these mortals. The Erdend people told that it was an honor and a privilege to return to the lands of their forefathers, not an eviction. Erdend was settled by the Fey-touched Erdend anew, for only very few survived outside the Domendrod. For centuries, the lands were inhabited by semi-unified tribes who revered the Fey and respected the seasons equally, as they were taught under the Eordellan religion. Those who did not balance the seasons or rejected the Fey were exiled into the south, becoming the Fograk. However, over time, the most talented of the Eordan druids learned that by focusing on one season, they could channel far greater power, and that some regions of this land were attuned specifically to one season above all else. Very few Ruinborn were found in Erdend that were not from the Domendrod, with the exception of the Armonadi, which were driven out of the eastern Randrunse coast. The balance of the seasons upset, the seasonal courts of Erdend were created, and the Erdend splintered. This schism erupted in a war among the heretics and against the infuriated loyal Eordellan. The original Peladan Oathsworn swore an oath to the Fey to end this schism and bring order to the seasons, and united the newly forged Paytar tribe, who were loyal to Eordellan, against the seasonal courts. Peladan Oathsworn saw repeated victories and pushed back the seasonal courts to their far-flung stronghold until they united against it. Paladin and the Paytar alliance were defeated by the seasonalists near Cairnail, and with the death of Paladin, the Paytar tribes were splintered forever. The hibernal crusade, the everlasting struggle of Tuathak to end the tyranny of winter, saw great success in the early 15th century, resulting in the establishment of Jorgashire and Slekal. However, the crusade was stopped in its tracks by the intervention of the Strutmar Paytar, slaying their leader Alwaron Winterswrath, shattering the authority of Aegard over the hibernal states. The child's prodigy Imarail Winterswrath, that's us, had taken leadership of the once docile Gemradcurt, ready to defend and defeat Tuathak invaders. How will you leave your mark on Erdend? Will unity and balance be brought back to Erdend under the Eordellan, or will you champion the stronger season to its deserved greatness? Let's check our religion. We are the Winter Court. We get some fort maintenance, monthly war exhaustion goes down, female advisor chance goes up, and we can recruit female generals. Erdend is populated by 5 distinct Runeborg cultures who disagree on the primacy of the seasons. These cultures often correspond with the seasonal court, such as the Self-Hereki with the spring court, but even after conversion to another court, or Eordellan, these cultures retain their physical traits and cultural values. The Sneeboth reside in the harsh lands north, where winter is the strongest season. In order to survive, they are primarily semi-nomadic, migrating across their land to where it's best suited for each month of the year. These migrations have incurred the wrath of the Tuathak, who viewed them as trespassers during their migrations and have blamed the Sneeboth for their hardships caused by winter. The Sneeboth, or is that Snekboth actually? Sneeboth is funnier. Sneeboth maintains strong interfamiliar and interclan relations and prefer the calmly discuss matters, or to discuss matters, instead of rashly acting with violence, but do not trust and easily help outsiders who have never helped the Sneeboth. They are very pale white, to slightly blue skin, long black or white hair, and primarily blue eyes. The cold winter forces the Sneeboth to wear a thick fur clothing for warmth, even despite their resilience to the cold. Hells yes. Bet she dies and breaks the mission tree? Well, I hope not. I very heavily hope not. Didn't the Autumn Court get a new formable? I know they got a new mission tree under Wraithtal. Maybe that's something we can play in September time or something. Do I still make YouTube videos? Yes, though they are mostly or entirely based on EU5 right now. Hopefully you know the traps in the mission tree. Nope, not a clue. Not a clue. Ain't a clue. Not a single clue. Anyway, the Wrath of Winter. Emirael considers the words of the scouts as she sent them out, a renegade band of a few hundred hibernal crusaders, the marauding remnants of that bloody war. When Emirael had driven out the Tuathak from Gemradcurt and the Patar had killed Harvest Crown at Menarok, many presumed the hibernal crusade, the existential threat to winter that had consumed the north of Ireland, over and done with. Emirael knew better. The Tuathak would not stop until Winter Court was exterminated. Even now, remnants of the autumnal armies still remained in Sneeboth territory, looting and killing to their heart's content. They had to go on the offensive to see winter secure, that was for certain. A man's voice, slow-paced and clear as ice, interrupted her musings. Emirael turned to face the sound. Before her stood an elven-looking man, his skin pure white, and his hair and bright eyes an icy blue. Clad in furs and ornate snow-white armor, he was beautiful, appearing as some divine link between the winter and elven kind. The Everfrost Prince, her patron, stood before her, an arch-fae. You will ride out against the autumn, but do not forget what I have told you before. Beyond the means of destruction lies a far higher power. Emirael nodded affirmatively, turning back to her desk and retrieving a quill and paper. Orders. The partnership between Emirael and the Everfrost Prince had been long and fruitful. Whether the prince's influence or her own extraordinary powers came first, she did not know. But from her earliest days, Emirael could remember the soft words and harsh advice of the Archfey. She had called him the Frostman back then, before she knew of his true nature and power. It was he who had spurred her to push past the deaths of her parents with grim determination, to seize direct power from the militarist faction that thought they could control her, to push back to Tuathak and embark on this final journey. And luck willing, he would be by her side when she seized the ultimate tool that would secure Gemradcurt forever. Eternal power will be ours. So Emirael is embarking on the path to eternal life, to lichdom, and will be unable to begin the lichdom practical project while she's still allied to the Fae. Emirael does not expect this to be easy. This is a journey that may take 20 years or more. With that in mind, Emirael must be cautious that she does not meet an untimely end before she can complete her goal. When Emirael leads an army as a war wizard general, the chances of premature death rise dramatically. Be careful. Gemradcurt gets exceptional willpower until the death of Emirael, giving the following benefits. None. No benefits at all. Is it in here? Yes. Lives an average of 90 years if they're not made a general. Well, she's not a general right now, so we're not going to make her one, of course. But goddamn, she would be a fire as fuck general. But yeah, that's fine. The elves of Erden follow the Fae of the seasonal courts, spring, summer, autumn, and winter. Long ago, we might have been united in said worship, but this isn't the case today, each season having its own dedicated followers, as well as Erdelan emphasis on seasonal balance, however they interpret this. This division is also reflected on how the Fae deal with us, as none of us are seen as long-lasting or important enough for the most powerful among them to consider dealing with us, outside of the occasional patronage of specific individuals. To rectify this, we'll need to find ways to increase our status among the Fae, as well as eliminate the competition. We will, of course, rise above the rest. Is this my first time playing Gemradcurt? Yes. Yes, it is. So, before I do my stuff here with my estates, I'm going to take a quick glance at a few of the missions, Because sometimes you get a mission which is like, oh, have, you know, super loyalty and low influence, or have a bunch of crown land, and then you need to start again, and it's just a whole thing, and it's annoying, and the vibes are just not on. So, I need to have my army at 95% the force limit. I need to have Gelkol's opinion of me to be 100, or they need to be a rival, and I need to insult them. The same with Reotkrab. And if I do that, subjugation demands will be sent to them. If they have 100 opinion, they'll submit peacefully. Okay, perfect. That is something I will absolutely... Oh, okay. Well, Gelkole, we could probably get that sorted with then. But Reotkrab has rivaled me, so that seems unlikely there. You have a hostile attitude to me, but we are at plus 17, so maybe we can work on that. I will rival Reotkrab back, though. You are rivaled with Egghart and Strutmar, so we can get the same ones as you, and that's going to help us be friendlier with each other. For sure. Restart to avoid rival? Nah, that would take too long. So we're not going to bother with that. After we do that, Gelkol needs to either be my vassal or not exist. So basically we need to murder Reotkrab. And then Agnarod, yeah, we just need to own all of our stuff. That's fine. That's provinces owned by me or non-tributary subjects. That's fine. All of that's fine. All of that's fine. Okay, so looks like we are free to do our estate doodaddery. And I will do that, of course. Religious powers, of course we have. I can't remember who uses this system, but it is the same as the system that the kobolds use, which I have been playing a little bit of recently. So I do actually quite like religious power here for this. Expansionist zealotry is going to be very important as well, I think. Religious diplomats, of course. Might as well turn on the development of temples. Ooh, Winter's Blanket, what do you do? Every own province of the Spring Court or Summer Court, which gains less missionary strength. Okay. No. We're converting you. We're converting all of these bitches. We'll increase the levies. We will have supremacy over the Scarbag. Expand the fortifications, because I do know a little bit about this tag. I've seen people complaining about you devastate your own provinces, so we're going to need forts. And if I need forts, then I would rather those forts get a little bit cheaper. It's only going to be 10% cheaper, but, you know, every little helps. We can also pop in throne officer rights. We can pop in both of these, officer rights and forced conscription. Then the Malartak. Let's get some patronage. Let's get private trade fleets, economic freedom, bookkeeping. I don't think I want to do anything with the adventurers or the mages just yet. Start the necro study ASAP. That's probably a good idea. How am I doing today? I'm good. Do I still make YouTube videos? Yes, on E5. I'm pretty sure I already said that. Maybe you got an advert. I'm going to unclick that because that's a scary objective menu. Excuse me, what is this? Let's have a little look. Build an embassy for the Fae. Okay. Fledgling court will be removed. Did you get a nascent court? Okay. I'm champion of the Fae. We need to own Peladar and make sure Pelamar doesn't exist. Okay. An end to the hibernal crusade. No country following the Autumn Court exists until all settled Autumn Court provinces are converted. Alright. Tolerance with non-elves. SMH, can't believe it. One big family giving Diplo Rip and Diplo relations. Irdelin influencers. Okay. And unlock the spring influencer. And then autumn influencers. That's cool. That's funny. Probably not going to worry about that. Pretty sure the mages are in the mission tree. Okay, so maybe there's something in here. Nope, nothing in here yet. At least that I can see that's new. Turn that eventually. Do we get the cool mill reform gov? Is that tag still? I have no idea, but right now we've got monastic order making forts cheaper. Heirs and rulers can be generals, fixed to duchy rank. Religious unit affects devotion, blah blah blah. I'm sure there's other fun stuff. Ooh, look at these. Army of Halan, and then the Passma. Yo, interesting stuff here. Artifice of False Limit Fraction, look pretty sexy. Cav Shock, interesting. Walker of the Steps, Cav Host, and Cav to Infantry ratio. Shield of the People is damage received, that's pretty good. Infantry cost land force limit modifier, force limits on the artificers. I quite like that, that's quite good. Seafaring Souls, don't care. Ooh, actually, Artillery Fire plus 0.3 is pretty good. Land Leader Shock and Shock damage. Fire damage and fort defense, but manpower is a little bit lower, movement speed a little slower. Got a little bit of infantry fire in there as well. And then Canorian Auxiliaries. Interesting. There's a lot of interesting things there. Looking at new MP Nation? No, this is my new single player objective campaign, winter campaign, mission campaign thing. But yeah, right, we're gonna start working on this. So you should I insult you now? I think we can just insult you now. Yeah, let's just insult you now. I don't think I need to do a scornful insult, purely because it's not worth it. But we're gonna start working on making you friendly. I am going to... I think that's probably about it for right now. Let's increase the size of my army as well. We can build another 2 dudes. We have 1 cavalry. Maybe we'll build 1 cav, 1 infantry. And let's hope for an good general. Absolute cinema. You found out the New World nations are really OP for some reason. They can be. They can be, for sure. Alright, let us unpause. I'm drinking a white monster because winter, of course. That I'm not gonna lie, this guy does feel somewhat rigged. I don't... yeah, hang on, let me look into this. Later we'll get between 3 and 8 pips, and then I get +1 maneuver after that. So, essentially, what I'm being told here is that a 4-2, 2-3 is between 3 and 8 pips. Then again, no, because it gave me a 40 tradition general. And this is only 17, so whatever you get for a 40 tradition general, yeah. Okay, so still, I think I rolled max. The only way it could be better if it was like a 2-4-3-3 instead. But yeah, I'm not gonna fucking complain about that. I need an heir. Do I really? But anyway. We have currently no designated heir for Esbag Immorail. I don't know if I really vibe with the name Ez. Oh, well, it's not a name, it's a title. Esbag just feels weird. But I think we'll go with... Oh, hang on a moment. We are trying to befriendify Gelkul. So, +50 opinion if I do it this way. Yes, let's get a noble of the White Hand family to join us. Marliath, I think you're shit, but I'm gonna try and become a lich, so I don't care. Unit pips are strange for this tech group. For example, you get 5 pips, 9 techs before orcs. Well, I mean, orcs get it at frickin' tech 18. So it's not really relevant. But yeah, let's have a look at the pips. We've got the Ruined Garrison right now. 2 pips, they're pretty shit. I think you're actually better than the Paladin Remnants. But yeah, fire pips, our first fire pips at Tech 9, but, you know, only 1. Yeah, I'm sure they're fine. I'm sure it's fine. Right, we also want to check Ruler Magic menu. We are Talented Necromancy. We are Renowned Evocationator. I'm going to immediately start studying magic of the necromantic kind. I mean, I could drain the life of my heir. Because he's wank. Well, no, never mind. We'll spend more effort. And did I get... Alright, you're back up at 40, so what we can do is also raise additional levies, and that would bring you actually below 30, so we're not going to do that. But yeah, we're making a bit of money. You know, it's in the positive, which is a positive thing. I think your heir Dylan. Actually, let's have a look. So religiously, Gelkol and Riot Crab are both my own religion of Wintercourt. There's some Air Dylan, there's Autumn, Air Dylan, and then the summer's on the south, spring alongside. Lovely stuff. Good to know. Let us 7 trade ships is nice enough to start with. I'll take those. And we also have 4 transports, which I think what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to try and sell them because they bad. Do you hate me? You do. Okay, I'll try and sell them to Gelkul. Because, yeah, we don't vibe with transports. We don't need them. There's nothing to transport it. Yeah, it's not terrible. It is not terrible. Gelkul. I don't know why I'm pronouncing it like that, but whatever. Alright, will you buy 2 for 20? We'll buy 2 for 20. What happens if I try and offer you 3? You won't buy 3. Okay, good to know. But 2 for 20 seems fine to me. Eichard hates me. Wraithol doesn't like me, but we might still be able to sell to him. Oh, what about you? Nope. What about you? Nope. Slag call. Autumn. Gelkol Alliance. Hells yeah. That brings it to 136. And my army size must have increased? No, we're just waiting on this cavalry to finish being built. Nah, you don't want them. Okay, these last 2, unless we can maybe sell them to Gelkol, then we're probably just going to delete them. And he doesn't want them because exceeding force limit. Fair enough. Let's just delete the 2 transports then. Alright, waiting on this cavalry to finish, and we will finish our first mission. When the hated Autumn first began their forays into our lands, the Winter Court stood disunited, seemingly oblivious to the mortal peril they were in. Even as the realms of the East fell and the 12th Act despoiled our native lands, the nations of the North fought alone. Too proud to see that united they would stand a far better chance. It cost us dearly. And yet even now, with the Autumn's unity shattered at Minarak, many within our sister realms of Gelkol and Riotkrab have seemingly put down their arms and refused to take the steps necessary to protect our way of life. And to make matters worse, there are even whispers that Gelkol would dare consort with the enemy in Wraithol. To Immerail, this disturbing news has shown her clearly what is to be done. If this winter is to be saved, it must be united. If that must be brought by force, so be it. Subjugation demand sent to Geldkol and Reot Crab. Alright, let's see. I mean, you never know, he might just submit anyway, right? That's a total doable possibility. Despite the troubling rumors of Geldkol consorting with the Tuathak, they have nonetheless accepted our offer and placed themselves under our command. We are one step closer to victory. Whatever the reason, it seems that Reot Crab have rejected our offer of cooperation, content to keep the north and make themselves fat of petty raids and piracy. No matter, if they will not give us the fleet of their men, we will seize it for ourselves. Alright, looks like that is going to be our first order of business. Thankfully, this is not your capital, and it is not a fortress. So, we're going to have a time of sieging Reot Pont. And I think we're going to do that before we do anything else. Yeah, screw it. Let's just immediately go in. As soon as you arrive. Does he have a bigger fleet than me? Yeah, 12, 13 ships total, whereas we've got 9 total. I'm tempted to roll... Never mind, I'm not. Though I could still get one. What happens if I... The Naval School writes me an admiral, yeah. Right, do we get lucky? Nah, I mean, it's fine-ish. We got an admiral and you don't. We've got more combat width, though I don't think that's actually mattering at all. If he's not going to bring his fleet out to help, then I think we've just got it. Also, one guy there. I mean, somehow we got even more reinforcements. Oh, you've got another 6 ships here that can help. That's perfect. Alright, we didn't capture any. That's fine. Blockade efficiency. That's also fine. If I bring my ships over here, this one will probably die. Or get instantly owned. Capture? No. Oh, didn't even die either. I think a couple of ticks of repair would not go amiss. And keep an eye on their ships as well. I wasn't expecting to have naval dominance, but it looks like that is what we are enjoying. We'll start building a spy network here as well. Right, that's good enough. Alright, we're looking like, it feels like a pretty decent start, all things considered. That just straight up requires 8 dudes. I'm glad I didn't get a disease tick. Watch me get one now. I did not, but, you know, it's going to happen eventually. Quick morale of armies guy, if I so desire. One thing we haven't checked as well, Runeborn military, we take 30% less land attrition, which is fantastic, especially if we eventually become... Wait, no, if we could be... just ignore what I was saying. Morale hit when losing a ship hurts quite a bit. Sailors, okay. But honestly, Runeborn military, not bad. Not bad at all. Runeborn administration, improved relations goes down, institution spread goes down. Again, though, like, this used to be a lot worse. This used to be a hell of a lot worse. Reform progress in there, advisor cost in there. Like, I don't know, I feel like this is a pretty good military. I mean, I don't know what the pips are like in comparison. But, you know, at the moment, it looks like I'm pretty freaking happy with them. Anyway, we'll stack wipe this little holdout of bricks. You're sieging with a freaking... Imagine not having any siege pips, though. Like, honestly. What are you doing with your life? Gemradcurt, the land where need for maintenance reduction and we do magic too. Yeah, I've heard about the need for forts. So, definitely defensive ideas look like they're on the docket. Alright, let's see if I can capture any of these. No. How about we dock just for a tick of repairs and then get back out again. You also get unique gov reforms for Runeborn Mill. Yeah, we saw those earlier. They look pretty cool. Well, what are our ideas like as well? I don't know if these change later in the mission tree. If we form something, I don't know. I don't think we're going to be forming Erdent, but I might be wrong. Right now we start with female advisor chance, core creation, cost, yearly devotion. So 3 modifiers, it's interesting. Finisher is manpower recovery speed, cool, okay. Some shock damage in there, fort defense, cost of advisor with ruler's culture, stability cost modifier, land maintenance and land attrition, ship cost, and diplo rep. Kind of, I mean, I've definitely seen better. Alright. Have another fight with the Reot Crab Navy. Can I capture any ships this time? The answer is no. Oh well. I'll get you to dock again, and we will peace out our enemy. So, unfortunately, I can't take the land unless I do vassal first. So we're just going to do the vassal. I'm obviously going to take your money as well. And to hopefully make you happy with me again. Oh, you didn't even take any debt. Unfortunate. Well, both of my vassals are now disloyal. Fun. Hopefully the mission helps. It is done. With Geldkol and Reot Crab under our control, all the independent nations of the Sneckboth stand under Immorale's control. Now, there's only one thing left to do. Strike back. The banners will be raised, arms retrieved, mounts readied, and all the Tuathak will know that bloody vengeance is upon them. So, Seed Arganarod. Okay, I like it. His opinion changes. Okay. And we get the Great Feast of Daid in 10 years. Fun stuff. Does that make you more or less happy? Less happy. Fun. Well, have you protecting trade. The focus on free trade, is it? Our merchants are concerned they're not getting the support they want. That's an easy bit of mercantilism. I'll take it. And we'll do that. So that's a whole lot of claims really early. The Diplo rep at the end is entirely pointless. Yeah, if we're going Lich Queen bullshit, yeah, I feel like that's not gonna help me even a little bit. Yeah. If I attack you, then Eichhard helps you out. And I think this is a fortress. It is. Do I try and wait until one of my friends is going to help in this war, or do I trust that I can win a siege race? Do I trust that I can win a siege race is a good question. We've got 13% defensiveness. You've got none. Got 11. So maybe we start down here and try and siege Jurgashashir. No, because if I do here, you guys can get to here, and you also can get to here, so you could link up. Don't like that. Don't like that at all. We do have some more troops that we can build as well, so we're going to do that. And also, I can select my first Fey Influencer. We can select the fairies, or do I save it and go for the Everfrost Prince? One year of income upon holding a festival. Jorgashir has a mage ruler. You are right. He does. What a bitch. Who you are? Oh, you're allied to fucking everyone. Mage ruler with 4 mil. How would one survive that? We could try and rush the next Miltech. Hey, Lex Noctis. You're almost on time for stream. You're not too late. You're not too late. The mission tree was kind of insane, very unexpected the first time you played it. Am I going full Winter Lich Queen? Sure. Am I gonna try and backstab the Fey Patron? No idea. I haven't decided on anything yet. The exchange of gifts is an ancient ritual involving the sacrifice of a possession and the trust that you will receive in equal kindness. Even more so than mortals, the Fey exchange gifts us with glee that would make children look like static and glum. Today, you have received an anonymous gift. It's customary that anonymous gifts are to be reciprocated in kind by depositing a gift of your own into the woods. Those who deserve it will always receive it. I mean, I feel like it's bait. I feel like this is bait. So I'm gonna give the money because I feel like it will help in the long run. Anyway, let's improve relations with Rayot Crab as well. This probably can I afford that? Not right now, I can't. What allies does Strutmar have? Trimgarb, Sidpar, and Eadth. Oh, you've got another ally there in Einsak. Like, Jorgashir seems like the one that I would want to attack. My Esbag, our informants, have located a magical relic that may help with your magical studies. It lies in the Paris location. Let's spend 50 crowns. I could get you pretty close to loyal. By pretty close, I mean I could get you loyal. Yeah, that's fine. Don't think they can help Strutmar. I will choose to believe you. Let's try and go after Strutmar. Everyone's got a single fort. Ooh, the gift of winter here. Global land attrition and fort defense. I like that. That's really cool. Anything else in this area? I guess that's Gift of Autumn. Gift of Spring. Dev cost 15, bruh. That's amazing. Gathob Lighthouse. Okie dokie. And then the Gift of Summer down here as well. Alright, that's pretty cool. Alright. The way she gets to Lich, the magical mechanics of it are quite unique for the tag. Be prepared to build a fort in literally every second province. In the future. I've heard that part already, yeah. Anyway, let's go for Fassa Clan. And let's hope you're right that these guys can't actually help. Magical study demands more money, bruh. Oh, you've now got a 3 siege as well? Bro, let's go. That's what I'm talking about. I'm wiping his army. I literally can't get to it while he's here because of this fort. He's completely protected. As well, what we can do is siege magic. I could lob some fireballs, but I think I want to save the points. But what we can do when we need to fight this guy potentially is we can throw in some war magic because we're a renowned evocator. That is going to be pretty cute when we can do that. And this fort, not going to prevent you from getting to here. Yeah, if I go for this fort, then you're free to march wherever the hell you want. That's a lot of loans. Would you want to hear the one thing that made me a 1444 early game with the tag, or would it be too much backseat gaming? I'd say I don't mind as long as it's not like lore spoilers. If it's like, be careful about this X thing, then that's usually fine. Equip your army. So here what I need to do is all provinces there I need to own. Fair enough. Here I need to own all the way to Ermin. Damn. Okay. Then here, this is what we're trying to do right now. We'll have a standoff at Dungat. I think I'm just going to go with the ferry. Unless I can get some... Oh, I can get something in here instead. Improve relations might be the vibe. Get you happier with me sooner. Or we could go the shock damage. Which would be good for when we fight this guy. Yeah, let's do that. Shock damage. No lore, just one of the autumn elves all the way in the south of you is correct. If you let them consolidate, stack wipe you twice. Is it Merdcather by any chance? Oh, autumn elves? No, some like Arakipron maybe. No, you're spring. Autumn elves is like... Wait a minute. Autumn's in the north. Was it Slegcal then? Took our first loan. That's unfortunate, and I will go with the improved relations. Experiments can take such a long time to set up and make sure they're safe and done in proper conduct. Fine by me. You hate Bavari. Why are they willing to hire more mercenaries to fight you? Is that not an old? Have you played with the new Bavari? Because right now they ain't doing that. The new Bavari really suck. They start with a horrible disaster, which means they can't actually get mercenaries. Like, they're like plus 250% cost or something. Like, New Bavari is actual cope. Come on, Lucky 42. Damn it. Come on, Lucky 57. Let's go. So yeah, now you're doing over here. Now the question becomes, do I attack somebody else? Wait, we can move here? Okay. Well, fucking RIP my army. My allies' army. It was Irakipran, you think, or however you spell it. Okay. Unlike the calling to the battlefields of land, a matter of duty and search for glory, the sea calls to many free spirits who care for little for such things. Stories of sailing across the oceans of the world and the past expeditions of the Gemradcurt fleet are retold by old sailors as adventures. Many of the great sights remembered, many of the great sacrifices forgotten. Is it any wonder with such a legacy that the youths of Gemradcurt yearn for the vastness of the sea? Many more have come to join our navy over the past year. Some may end their lives at the bottom of the ocean, but those who return are sure to keep the stories alive. Cool. What you're saying, the Jad mission needed ally that helps destroy the Raj not as strong anymore. Yeah, probably. It's been quite heavily nerfed. Yeah, something to do with like a meteor or something landing in the sea to their south and causing a huge tidal wave to basically ruin the entire coastline of Rahan. Yeah, but we can't be slow here because we do need to become a lich. Like the other elves' ideas, whichever one had crazy military buffs early on. Yeah, we will just. Oop, that was good job I couldn't move here. Right, if you want to get pieced out and give me all your money, that would be pretty handy, actually. 4 reps. Force religion. Ooh. That could be pretty tasty. That could be pretty tasty. Convert more to the Winter Court. I like that idea quite a bit. It will mean less aggressive expansion with other Erdolans the next time I go to, you know, conquer you. Our forts are the most important defense we have against intruders and enemies, but they are in great need of restoration. We'd need to increase our tax in order to fund this. No, lose a devotion. Literally can't afford it right now. Alright. What's inside the mist in the middle? The Fae. Still won't accept this, but you're really close to. And now you will. What's that? There's only 5,000 of you now? Oh, right. More magical study experience. Yes, please. Can you get to the Fae? I know Erdend can. I have no idea what's in this mission tree, though. Alright, come on, just accept the L. You've just hired a general. Magical study. Let's. You know what? I think we're gonna... What percentage are you? 44 to take everything, that's perfect. Let's do a double. Let's do a double. I think we might have to start with you. Right. Siege magic. Let's do... Let's throw a fireball. Tremendous fireball floats over Emerald's head before being flung right into the defender's ranks, exploding in fire and death. Several men can be seen on fire, some even flinging themselves off walls. So we're at 0 now and 11.2. It just gives us +1, I think. This might allow the other ones to join, walk in. That's fine. I think we're okay. We got +3 on that. Damn. Let's also earthquake for the local defensiveness. %40 chance of it being successful. It's only faltering. Let's throw more power at it. Fuck it. Oh, also gave me more here. Yeah, he did get the War Wizard, which is unfortunate. But it is what it is. Stack wipe is very helpful and get morale damage. Nice. I imagine I am ahead of you when it comes to Miltech. I am. So I think I do actually beat him. We're going to do another earthquake. Successful. Nice. And you can't get to me because of this fort, so I think we're good. Yeah, sure. Give me the temples. That's fine. Yeah, he's not even trying to come to me, which is great news. It's a risky play, but one we have to make. And I'm gonna piece you out for everything. Eventually. Right. I'm also going to ruler magic menu, renowned evocation. We're going war magic 2. The shock damage, the morale of armies, fire damage received. Don't really care about the fire damage, but this is going to be super, super, super handy against Mr. War Mage. I know we're spending quite a bit of mill points, but again, we're still ahead of him. I've got a 6 mil. It's going to be used anywhere. It's going to be used here. I also want this siege to be over ASAP, so let's fireball the bitch. It hits. Already got 0.2. Maybe I can throw another fireball. It hits again. Right, you are now going to be pieced out. You're going to give me some money. And that, I think, is a mission? No, I thought that was. I need 10 regiments in Darblath. We're going to wait for stuff until that happens. I know a few of those provinces will be converted. I can get some fairies involved as well. I'm going to do that. That's fine. Yeah, the fact that you don't want to attack me is very, very good for me. 57. Lucky 57. Let's fucking go. Alright. I'm very tempted to attack him. Parallel Authority. The Klar is more loyal, so we'll go with the Malatark. Nice. Alright, you're at 100% now. Perfect. Lovely. Sometimes we see conflicts on the international stage mirrored within our own borders. Today we received news that our war with the Autumn Court nations was brought about in religious conflict in Eltgor, where the Autumn Court and the Winter Court fates exist side by side. People who used to be neighbors and friends attacking each other over what they perceive as differences between us and our adversaries. The religion of Eltgor changes to Winter Court. 75% chance of it. No, I can't afford 4,000 manpower right now. Sorry. Sorry, but no. That is fine. We can handle... Yeah, you're dead as fuck. Okay, my admiral died, which is why this navy has become a bit more enthusiastic, let's say. Living test jobs X, that's fine. Lose 1,000 manpower sucks, but we're going to do it. Nah, bro, ain't no fucking way. Well, let's see what we get. 2 is better than 0. And to force to teach him by a lesson, and I'm going to cast Siege Magic because I want this over with ASAP now. More power! Come on. Inspired by a holy cause, volunteers from the Winter Court have arrived to help us take the fight to the infidel and spread the true faith. Nice, get the manpower back. Jorga Shahir is finished, so what we're going to do is take all of your land and your money and not worry about that. So now you have no war wizards. Aha! Perfect. Alright, that's a big win. That is a big, big win. Alright. So we are 61, it's not terrible. We'll work with it. Mission fulfilled, Winter alone. Oh yeah, we need 5 regiments in Dungat. When Harvest Crown and the other leaders of the Crusade lay dead at Minarak, crushed by the surprise attack of the Strumari Paytar, the people of Gemradcurt had celebrated most joyously, and Imarael's comrades had asked her to join the festivities. She declined, feigning tiredness, but in reality she was simply shocked. The decades-long struggle against the hated autumn had been ended by Paytar's hands, not by that of the Snekboth. For a time, Imarael was thankful, but as the Strutmari's grip on the Snekboth lands of Imat and Fasa clan tightened, her mood soured. Now the path forward has become clear to her. Winter alone must secure its future, not rely on the charity of those who would otherwise seek to shackle it. The lands under Strutmar's control must be retaken by force. After that, who can say what will happen to its Paytar occupiers? Outside the fortress of Dungat, the Paytar messenger waited for a reply with bated breath. The will of the Strutmari had been broken, and they were willing to surrender entirely. Gazing at the fortress in the distance, walls breaking and surrounded by Snekboth soldiers and reanimated Paytar alike. The fuck you mean reanimated? We don't do necromancy yet. Imarael opened her mouth to speak, but Captain Ishera, a trusted supporter and lieutenant who had joined the order at a similar age as Imarael, albeit a novice trainee, interjected. Imarael, we should take their offer. It's no use storming the city if we can take it peacefully. Besides, these folk helped us in the hibernal crusade. It was a Strutmari who killed Harvest Crown in Minarak. What's the use in... Another voice interrupted Ishera. As another of Imrael's lieutenants, Captain Talaran, rose to speak. Where were the Paytar when they invaded in the first place? They only attacked when the damned Tuathak have been looting our lands for decades, and not to mention Imat and Fasaclan. Unless you think that Imrael's birth town is rightfully Strutmari land, and I think you ought to— Enough! Imrael's curt command cut Talaran off immediately, as Ashera stepped back from her impending escalation, crossing her arms. Imrael knew that the Paytar had done Winter a great service at Minarak and had seized Fasaclan and Imaret from Tuathak invaders, not native Snakeboth states. But their refusal to return the provinces and that rejection of the supremacy of Winter did pose a problem. Who knew that these folk would not one day pose a threat to Winter's security? Imrael stepped towards the messenger. I've made my mind up. Surrender denied, send in the troops. So culture and religion in a couple of provinces changed to what I like. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Boom. Done. Perfect. Alright, now we'll go to Dargbleth. Our ancestors tell us that when our kind was given this land by the Fae, it was through these gates that we emerged. Centuries have passed now, and until recently, Dungat was under Paytar control. The Winter Gate now glistens in ice, and while we'll continue to respect both tradition and the wishes of the Fae, no longer will the Paytar have the opportunity to ambush us through it. Dungat, the Winter Gate, long held by Paytar, now shines brilliantly with winter's snowflakes. Hells yeah. Alright, mission complete here. The news of Akard's great disaster in Minarak was good to be sure, but despite the death of their ruler, Androl Harvest Crown, their city stood tall, and they've been recovering their strength ever since. But the ice-warded walls of Darblath are not unbreakable. With the Winter united, it's time for Gemradcurt to lead the charge in destroying one of its most perfidious foes. And of course, Imrael has her own mission. As her power grows, spurred on by the Everfrost Prince, she's gained access to even greater arcane power, especially in the forbidden field of necromancy. While she used some of this during the initial counterattack against Autumn, she has yet to trial these powers on a large scale, and the devastated remains of Darbath seem just the place. So it loses the stuff, but it becomes my culture, my religion, and I get another event. Snow fell as the Tigan Order soldiers piled the last of the Tuathank bodies before her. The taking of Darblath had been extremely costly, with the ice-warded walls of the city giving Imrael a great challenge. But in time they'd fallen before Imrael and her forces, and the city was now under Snekboth control once again. Despite the cost, however, the Everfrost Prince had taught her something. Behind every victory on the field lay another, hidden success. As her arcane powers grew, it had become necessary for her to trial her newfound abilities on increasingly grander scales, in preparation for what the Everfrost Prince had assured her would be a most taxing ritual. And so, after Darblath had fallen, Imrael had ordered her soldiers to gather as many dead warriors in the city together as they could. The result was a horrific affair, and though the bodies had been frozen through magic to stop much of the decay, the sight of so many dead still brought unease to some of the assembled officers. But Imrael knew, of course, that such a display paled in comparison to the numbers killed by the Tuathak, a fitting punishment. Imrael's guards turned with a start as White Elk approached from behind. When she turned around, however, she waved them off as the rider dismounted. He was the Everfrost Prince in disguise, an antlered white helmet over his head to conceal his otherworldly appearance. He leaned close to Imrael and spoke with his usual glacier demeanor. This is only the beginning. When you've reached the heights of power, you shall be able to command the very world as you would these soldiers. Remember this. Imrael nodded, stepping forward as the Everfrost Prince watched on alongside her bodyguards. She raised her arms. The blue glow of magic engulfed the square as limbs within the tangle of bodies began to twitch and shudder. Soon there was true movement, a natural stiff movement, as if the bodies were being puppeteered by some invisible master above them. Then the pile came alive, as hundreds then thousands of undead began to reanimate fully. Imrael strained at the stress as her head began to ache, and her arms began to burn with exertion. But soon enough she managed to wrestle full control of the assembled host. A few commands, and the mass before her had moved into some grim imitation of organized force. Imrael smiled. So gain manpower, increase my study experience. Hells yeah. So, expelling invaders. I still need to go after Sleg Hall. But for now, what we'll do is we will core the rest of my provinces that I have taken. And by the rest of them, I mean some of them, because we've got too many. Let's also increase my army size a little bit. And I'll repay loans. I'll repay all of them. Alright then. Think this fort probably could be deleted. Right now we're basically fully covered, but yeah, it'd be nice to have as few redundancies as possible. Right, that's a bit of money. Losing 2 ducats a month, but that's probably fine. How are you doing? 71, you're getting there. Force vassalized us is the biggest problem, I think. Subjugated by former rival plus 18. Yeah. It'll be fine. Yeah, moving on. Here I need to have 100 gov reform progress and reach level 2. And then the Tigan Order influence needs to be 45 and 50 loyalty. Okay. Gonna be a little hard, actually. You're right, Gemradcurt is strangely Christmas themed. Yes, of course it is. Oh, there's actually a couple of other things that I've done with the mod. Obviously, we're playing on the Bitbucket version, which I don't know if there's anything different to main Steam version. But the reason I'm using that instead of using Steam is because I have modified it to my own ends. Things like these fortresses, as cute as they are, they also now give plus 2.5%, sorry, not percent, just straight 2.5 supply limit. And if I go into the building menu, 2.5 for the castle, 5 for the bastion, 7.5 for the star fort, and 10 for the fortress, and that is obviously before any modifier, so it ends up being quite a decent amount, and it's just, I don't know, it's just really quite nice. Just really quite nice. And another thing that I've done is I've removed the Dev Edict and replaced it with Monthly Devastation and Local Prosperity Growth. So this doesn't work if you don't have stability, so you still need the stability. And also the Prosperity Growth is strange in that it doesn't actually give +1 like a month. It just gives 5 whenever it would have, like, you know, if you've got a 10% chance to go up a month, then when it does go up, that 1 in 10 chance, it'll go up 5 instead of 1. I don't know how the maths, but we just gotta accept it, because that's just the way it is. Anyway, Sledcarl has no friends. We are going to attack him immediately. Don't have any cores on me. No, you don't. Good, good, good. Because you don't have friends, that's why we're going immediately. Because, why let you potentially garner yourself a bit of friendship? That is just not what we're about. I don't want to lose this fight. It is even numbers right now, because Gemrad has fled. But my Gemrad is about to die, so we'll flee. Immorale has made herself known as a powerful practitioner of magic and one unbound by the shackles of old laws and regulations, or as the Anbennar sycophants call it, a witch king. The international community sees Immorale as a power-mad leader of pariah state and an outcast among her diplomatic circles of the world. But who cares? A lion does not concern itself with the opinions of sheep. Okay, this fucking sucks, actually. This is way too early. This is way too early. How the fuck am I going to annex these bitches? Like, all the modifiers, great, but -6 Diplo rep. I don't know how... Too many fireballs. Too many fireballs. You can't escape it. The mission tree gives you undead, which speeds up infamy super fast. Right, but we didn't actually... I mean, it would have been nice if we could have integrated these two before that happens. Out of curiosity, is there anything in the mission tree that will automatically integrate these bitches? Alcohol does not exist. Yeah, I guess not. I guess not. That's... Oh, I'll get an event to do it? Oh, sick. Based. Very nice. Policy of free trade is doing stuff and things. Cool. Wraithall, we're going to stop building a spy network on you. Get those Diplo points. Event gets two options, so read it right or you can't annex them. Okay. Okie dokie. More money. Ooh, 200 is a bit much. Look at what you said earlier. I mean, I read everything. Oh, I need to colonize stuff in the east in the not too distant future after the mission tree expands. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's the locations of these forts. Come on. There we go. More study experience. Oh, we got bloody rebels up here as well. Oh, you also have a war wizard? Of course you do. The Unseelie approve of your dedication to savagery and honor. You are henceforth invited to the next hunt, but first a boon of our appreciation. A powerful pawn could yours. Could be yours? One well in tune with the art of shedding blood, or perhaps you would like your men to have the sense of wolves and strength of bears. Get a sexy general. Kinda like him. Enthralled Glade Warden. Welcome, welcome, welcome. A lot of faith flavor for the Erden mission trees, at times very out of left field, makes you go, but why? Like sudden colonization. Got it. I will take the Miltech. And we'll get our new guys. We'll grab the Patina Guard. Wielding the wealth of the greatest copper deposit in Erden, the Lords of Sklard could afford to field the most bronzen army of any in Erden, certain with the greatest defensive units. The Patina Guard was equipped with heavy plate and shields, reaching... Yeah, whatever. I think the other one was actually more flavorful because it was talking about Darblath. But it is what it is. Fine. Just felt like those events were like made for a Like, ardent in general, rather than, you know, didn't really feel fitting to what I have currently going on. Plus, we're going to be undead soon, so. If it doesn't mean if it doesn't make you go, but why? Is it really truly fate? That's true. That's a fair point. That's true. Let's do a ritual. Our particular devotion to the winter as of late has inspired a festival dedicated entirely to the season. Though the elements can make it a challenging prospect, families nevertheless gather together to enjoy each other's company around the warmth of their fires. Gifts are exchanged and food set aside for the occasion. It's enjoyed liberally. If the weather is right, some children even go outside to play in the snow. For all the hardship winter can bring, our people now feel a sense of resilience and closeness no the season can quite provide. Oh, gain a stab, let's go! Beautiful, gain some money as well. Movement speed, shock damage, alright, I like it. Very blessed. Very blessed indeed. Should have waited like 5 more days. Why? What difference would those 5 days make? In the great hall of the village of Dade, a massive host was assembled. Hundreds of Snackboth warriors, nobles, and burghers had joined Emerale and the White Hand, and Winterstrider rulers of Gelcol and Reotcrab in celebration of the unity of the Winter Court and the Snackboth people in their fight against winter. Meat, drink, and merriment was abundant. Even Emerale, normally stoic and always fixated on some goal or other, seemed totally at ease. But, as with the stoic and calm demeanor, this was but a facade over her true feelings. In truth, she was nervous. There were constant rumblings in her circle about the disloyalty of Gemradcurt's comrades in arms, and some even wished for them to be brought under Emerale's personal control entirely. And of course, there were many along the vassals' people who chafed under the Taigan Order's control. When one of these advisors, a high-ranking member of the Taigan Order, had approached her the night before with the plan to wipe out the leadership of Gelcol and Reotcrab at the Great Feast and secure Gemradcurt's authority over the North in one fell swoop, she waved him away. But she'd not denied him. She knew, even as she played the merry ally of the two Drukads on the dais, that many Gemradcurters in the room had eyes on her, waiting for a signal to strike. Abruptly, Emerale stood up and called for quiet. Gemradcurters did so quickly, as if they'd just been ordered to do so by a commanding officer. The Gelcallers and Reotcrabbers took some time to get settled. She raised her glass to the assembled Snackboth. 10 years ago, the nations of the North joined together to stand against the autumnal invaders, and since then we've fought alongside each other as siblings. We've gained victory after victory, and now are at the precipice of securing the future of the Winter Court forevermore. The hall erupted into cheers. After it died down, Emerale continued, but still, there exist divisions among us, cracks in the unity that have been so essential to our success. Emerale saw one of the officers on the table place a hand on her sword. She only had to say the word, and the room would erupt into blood. But that ends today. At this feast, in this hall, she'll build a brighter future, and strengthen the machine that will destroy the Tuathak once and for all. And we can only do that under the flag of Gemradcurt, my personal command. Inherit them, lose stability. Oh, that stability we just gained. Nice. I mean, under the flag of Gemradcurt and my personal command. Oh, hold Winter Festival on Christmas is what you're saying? That's a fair point. Instead, we will inherit these guys. Hells yeah. That also comes with navies. And an army. And a reform. And nothing I can do about that right now. I'm a little busy. The bloodshed will do instead? True. Traveling minstrel. Oh, let's have my stability back, why don't I? Hells yeah. Blessed run. Social mobility, don't care. Alright. That should be another mission complete, right? Or one of the following provinces. All provinces in the Jogashire area, one of them needs to be true, have a regiment present. What happens if I do like this? It's gonna be enough. Anyway, new reform, which one do we want? Internal mission gives construction churches, give clergy loyalty, meh. External mission, manpower recovery speed. A settler chance there, mission for the high seas is meh. Balance mission is... Prevention cemetery no longer has any drawback at peace. That's interesting. An extra merchant or... Fort defense. I mean, I think we just be boring and get the manpower recovery speed. Red wedding without a wedding is very true. Exactly what happened. Do I need to have dudes in every single province? You know what? Let's deal with these rebels first, and then we'll work it out. And Wraithful will be my enemy. Yes, I do. Okay, good to know. More magical study. Glorious. All right. Hop to it. When presented with an interpretation of a mission, always go with what will be more work and a bigger inconvenience. True. Alright, let's try this again. Get onto all of those provinces. And mission complete. But we're not here yet. Oh, maybe because it's Snackboth. Alright, fair enough. The autumnal realms of Jogashire and Slegcall have occupied land that has belonged to our people for 1,000 years. But with our recent victories over them, their territories have once again returned to their rightful owners. Despite this, however, there still remains a sizable minority of both Autumn worshippers and Tuathak folk themselves. These lands are to be truly restored to their former beauty. The invaders must be expelled. We lose some mill, we lose some dip, but we get a bunch of people becoming my religion and my culture. Lovely. So we'll now core those up as well. Everything is Snackboth. Everyone can go to Fardok. Again, I don't think these are necessary. We'll get rid of them, which makes this a little cheaper, and maybe I just go with naval maintenance modifier. Now let's go ship trade. What's this mod about? This is a fantasy mod, loosely based on D&D. Originally based on a D&D campaign by the main mod creator originally, which is J-Bean. And it kind of expanded and exploded since then to being probably, I mean, definitively the D&D mod for EU4. I think, yeah, it's the definitive D&D mod for EU4. I think that's pretty fair to say at this point. You can play as hobbits, though they're called halflings, not hobbits, because it's more D&D than Tolkien. And I think the Tolkien estate has copyright on specifically the word hobbit. But yeah, the halflings are actually quite decent. They have a large area in the center of the Europe kind of area called the Small Country. And they also have their own island in the south of the Africa equivalent called the, I think, the Halfling Isles, but it's also called something Favanossi. That's kind of cool. Cute. They just need to use mercs as their worthless combatants for 200 years. True, actually. I can choose more Fey stuff. I don't know what I need. Maybe yearly prestige, because we're a bit low right now. And Paradox at Large, there are Anbennar variations for CK3 and Vicky3. While true, the CK3 mod hasn't really taken off just yet. I don't even think it's public. So I think it's probably more fitting to say something like Godherja is the definitive one for CK3. I need to employ an admin guy, and he needs to be a theologian or an inquisitor. The core mage is right there. Okay, we'll grab you. With the nations of the North united, it's time for Immorail and the Taigan Order to set about another one of their goals, the reformation of the Snekboth's faith. For too long, the tenets of the Winter Court have been weak passivity and defensiveness, patience and inactivity that nearly fatally weakened us when we faced our most bitter struggle against the Autumn. Over the years, the people of Winter have begun to break out of that mindset, with Immorail leading the charge in Gemradcurt, but the time has come to spread this new worship of winter across our realm, that we may never again face a disaster like the hibernal crusade. So missionary strength +2, nice, that's gonna be handy. I need 20,000 troops, and I need to cast some war magic. Okay. That's not too bad. And yeah, I need Taigan influence to be at 45, so there's 10. Oh, it's tempting to put on Battle Mage Academies. I mean, I need to, don't I? 38. There it is. Immorail, Winter's Wrath, has enjoyed a close and intimate relationship with the Taigan Order, which was previously only responsible for the arcane education of young women within Gemradcurt's borders. After she rose to power, however, nobody had expected the extent to which she would empower and expand the role of her order. Membership was expanded to include men, and the Order gradually consumed more and more responsibilities within the country. However, this process is not yet complete. In order for Immorail and Gemradcurt to protect the nation and the winter, the Taigan Order must reign supreme over the country, so that her authority and power be absolute. That's cute. I'm immediately taking away the Battle Mage Academies, though, because I don't want to be spending mill points. Alright, and for the agenda, that's a claim on land in the south. Manpower, that's gonna, no. Trade power, maybe. That's just the easy one. Castle in Minarok, no. Yeah, I think we'll do that, because that gives us a claim on a whole area. The mission wasn't clicked. Oh, you fucking clown. Oh, look! It's a snowbird! And that ain't the first time that's happened. SMH. I wants me to go all the way here. So yeah, I need to do that one. I'm gonna need to do them all. I don't like that. Alright, let's just fucking click it this time. We started constructing a mage town Gemradcurt for free. Love that shit. We got estate on there. Am I gonna lose 2 stab now? That sucks. No, I didn't. Hello. Alright, and now. Fuck. Not good. It is going up, though, so we're going to be fine. We just need to make sure that we take the Battle Mage thing. The Winter Court has been united, though. And I'm not going to read it out, because we literally just did. There we go. So, Everfrost Crusade, 20,000 troops. And, yeah, I need to do some war magic. That's easy enough. There's right enough people to coalition, you can basically expand all you want. Yeah, that's the plan. Let's get this mill point back before I do anything rash. And we're going to be attacking this guy next. Give me back my mill points. Oh, I need to unpause. There we go. Mill point back. Thank you kindly. You can hold a festival with that religion or something, right? Yes, I can. Snowball Pixies. -2 war exhaustion when holding a festival. You give what? -4 war exhaustion. Okay. We finished, or we've almost finished coring everything, so yeah, let's go after you. You're allied with Dictator, who are a little bit busy. Maybe they won't help too much. So now we go into the ruler magic menu. We go evocation, core magic 2. That is an mission fulfilled. Decades ago, the Tuatha Crusaders marched into our lands, intent on exterminating us. We were weak and divided then, unwilling to do what we needed to be done to protect ourselves. No longer! Under the leadership of Gemradcurt, we've united our territories and pushed back the invaders, reclaiming the lands of the north for ourselves. But still, our job is not finished. If we are to avoid another catastrophe like this again, we must marshal our resources once more and strike deep into the heart of autumn. With whatever means necessary, the future and destiny of our people and faith will be one, and the Everfrost Crusade will see it so. Again, permanent claims on... is this the south or the north, I wonder? It is the north, okay. Well, we'll get there eventually. So, do Vendetta. I need all of these provinces to be owned. Fair enough. Instrument of Life, I need to do some development. Gemradcurt's Mage Tower needs to be finished. We'll wait until the Mage Tower is finished before I dev this. Oh look, you died. Emerald has a minus 10 bajillion chance of death. That's fair. That's good. We like not dying. Do I need the guy? Do I need a morale? Yes. I also need an eco. My eco is real bad. Statutory rights, ain't no way. Maybe we get your debt and we pay off the shitty loan. Look, as soon as my army becomes less in need of coin, we're gonna be fine. Wow. Diplo rep, gonna need that at some point, maybe. Potentially. The Witch King modifier that we have is pretty good, wherever the hell it is. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Gorgeous. Eco is gonna get worse. Don't forget to build up the forest before clicking the long night. I guess that gonna spawn some rebels then, I imagine. Worse? Damn, okay. Worse than a bunch of rebels. A lot of rebels? Or magical study experience, I think. There we go. We're now renowned necromancer. Look at my necromancy spells. I could go undead army right now, but I don't think I should. Why can't I drain my consort? Because he's shit. Fortunate. It's gonna spawn something, alright? Well, I mean, that's, you know, certainly an interesting vibe that we're getting. It'll be interesting. Worse. It's gonna spawn some... I don't... It's getting... Certainly vibes. Certainly getting some vibes. I think I might take all of this territory. Like, everything that I can. I leave you with this, I could peace out now. Yeah, fuck it, I think I want to peace out now. So if I kill your army, I'll be able to get more money. Come on, win the siege already. Wait, how long is this taking? Almost makes you want to throw a fucking fireball at it. But I won't. Much better. Alright, that brought it... actually changed my land owned at all, really. Well, it is what it is. There's no wrong time to throw a fireball. It's true. It is true. Monopoly company formed. That's cute. Yeah, I'll take the points. The poor and homeless are constant in every society, everyday struggle for their survival, often only alive because of the kindly donation of those fortunate. While traveling through the capital with your entourage, you pass by another unfortunate soul soul alike, all the rest, afflicted with the wretched curses of disease and malnutrition. He begs you for a charity of a few coins, that you may eat this day. Surely not a second thought for one as decorated with the wealth of the nation. You notice that hidden behind her rags is an exquisite amulet that calls out to you. You must have it. I mean... have the money. I mean, I'm not going to steal the amulet. I don't think I need to. Like, we're gonna get fat off, like, long life, frickin' huge events. Those who do good deeds are not rewarded in kind, but know that their actions have brought ease to those who need help the most. But today the good deed you've done will be rewarded, for hidden behind the illusion of a poor beggar was powerful and dreadful Fey. Your generosity will be rewarded this day with a potion most desired. A Fey mead may shield you once from the ire of the Fey and their plots. It may only be used once, but you'll forevermore remember that your generosity may one day save your life. Allow you to prevent a negative outcome from many Fey alignment events, but may only be used once. It may be acquired more than once. That's really cool. That's really fucking cool. I had absolutely no clue about that. A hellhound is typically shown as a dog that's on fire. I know what this is. I know what this is. I know what this is. I saw this on fucking fucking Pirate Software. A hellhound is typically shown as a dog that's on fire and can have an understanding of language and is generally seen as sentient. As such, in theory, it could cast magic as long as it doesn't require complex hand movements or spoken words. They could write runes and glyphs in the sand of a beach to cast spells and various forms of magic. So technically, this makes a hot dog a sand witch. Yes, I am in agreement. Whether due to poor treatment, economic woes, or simple incompatibility, an opportunity has opened up for us to encourage the migration of rune-born peoples from our neighbour's province of Medkul to our province of Dungat. Or whatever. Don't I own both of those places? Maybe, maybe not. Anyway, I need to attack you. Yeah, I think. Runeborn migrants have arrived from Medkul. Ooh. They have a few more ships than I expected. Well, I can get myself an admiral. That was a great call, actually. During our reign, Morale has both word and action proven her ambitions as a conqueror. Admired by the troops, an impromptu visit to the army encampment is now instilling a glorious dream of victory in the hearts of our soldiers. Morale of armies or siege ability. I think I've already got the morale down, so let's still go siege ability. You've actually got 4 maneuver on your ships. That's unfortunate. That's unfair. I did kill 1 and lost none, so it's good. We could actually take Miltech already. I feel like I might be able to kill something. No, they're just running away. The growth of our colony, and I have a colony? That's not really a colony to me, but whatever. Marathmas has always been closely associated with the natural harbour in the area, and over time the province has come to act as something of a local trade hub. As the settlement has grown, so has the importance of its port. The settlement has come to act as an entrepot for the entire region, and foreign as well as local traders go there to conduct their trade. Yo, I just get an extra level on my trade post? Hell yeah. Very cute. Those Fey potions may be very handy if you decide not to completely go 100% irredeemably evil. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Murdcather, do I like them or not? I do like army tradition, but not for money. Oh, come on. Siege the fucking province. Thank you. I don't know why I started winning. They have a war wizard. Yeah, they do. 9 shock, bloody bastard, bloody bastard. I do still have war magic for another few months. I'm gonna lose the siege race because that war wizard. fuck's sake. I'll split them in half now. I wonder, can I earthquake you? And maybe we'll fireball as well when we can. Oh, enough with the rebels. One of my enemies just took Tech 6, I think. Someone took Tech 6, and it was nobody that I can see, which is interesting. Alright, this should be a stack wipe, I would imagine. Yeah. Well, that was unfortunate. Probably shouldn't have paid off those loans. Alright, I am capped on mill points. Let me see this mission. It's base production that needs to be higher. Needs to be, what, 6? So, just double check which provinces. So you can go to 6 already. You can't. I need to do a little bit of dev here. That one there. So with this, I need to own all of those provinces. Alright, well, it's going to be a pain in the ass mission, but we're going to do our best. It's going to start with full annexing the blue guy. Agenda of the diet, change religion is fine. You failed 5 balls in a row, that sucks. There we go. Interesting attack. Come on, win the siege. There. If you get full occupied, means also I need to go kill your troops. You get full occupied, then we can peace you out. Then I can also take land from Maracapran. Then we can full annex Wraithall. Oh, you want on boats. It's 4,000 men. Alright, lovely stuff. Coalition, I don't care. I want all my claims, and if I have to go in a bit of a coalition war down here, it is what it is. Let's abandon the war for a moment. I would like to go and kill that army over there. Don't forget about the little island in the west. Oh, son of a fuck. Okay. Oh, bag of dicks. I don't have any fucking transports. Might still be able to do it. Nice war wizard. Nice war wizard. Pretty cute. It's pretty cute. Bye-bye. That's annoying. Need 11,000 troops, goddamn. Rude. Again, I don't need that much land from him. What I do need is some transportation. Honestly, probably just 2 transports will likely do the trick. With you, again, I don't need much after. I just need 2 provinces that are fine. But you don't want to do it because I don't own this fort yet. I wonder, can I full occupy you and take? No. Okay, it needs to be separate. Oh, you know what? That's an ass. You know, I just saw that I'm not going to be able to take everything I need in this war as well. Yeah, Wraithtoll is just too big. Oh no, it's 92. Should be fine. We won this battle. Handily. Handily! Let's fucking go! Age of Recuprint. Oh, Recuprint's also at war with Aikos. Nice, captured some more ships. And he's out of Recuprint now for that. Plus all of your money, plus war reps, plus fuck your capital. Let's fucking go. Alright, and then from Wraithall, I take all of your land and some money. Nice. Alright. Golden arrow for culture. That's cute. Don't care. Go. With any luck, we'll get there in time. Alright, we're not fully overextended as well, which is surprising, actually. Right, this mission, I need Einsag to have regiments present. God damn, okay. You're gonna have to hopefully win this battle on your own. Ah! Glorious victory! We'll now rival Gemradcurt. Here's me, and we'll march our way back up to deal with you. These are the 2 extra transports that I ordered. We don't need to worry about them, but get you to continue, I don't know, protecting trade. And I think you're gonna help me. Do Vendetta? No. I don't want to do that. Can't dev you because you're not my core, so... You know, I'll just core everything, I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna worry too heavily about it. We're now trading precursor relics, tech cost -5%, which is very handy. We have our Do Vendetta. Every town taken, every city razed has given the Tuathak just a taste of the hardship and suffering they visited upon the Snackboth during the hibernal crusades. The Everfrost Crusade, winter's righteous campaign into the heart of autumn, has been wildly successful, and now Immorale stands on a defeated and broken people, those self-proclaimed successors of Eikart's legacy, and leaders of the Autumn Court, now chased to their last bastion at Einsag. If they truly think themselves as so, then they shall face Eikart's deserved fate as well. We get an event, -4 unrest for 10 years, quite nice. Immorale rode through the island city atop a white elk, past the Tuathak warriors and civilians that lay dead on the street, and the Snackboth and Tigan Order soldiers that waited with murderous anticipation for word from their leader. Immorale had done it. Even now, it's hardly seemed believable to her. She destroyed the realms of autumn and ended the centuries-long conflict between Snackboth and Tuathak for good. She had won. But what now? That was the question on the minds of many that had gathered there. Immorale came to the square at the town's heart before the building that used to serve as Einsag's center of power. Her lieutenants were there alongside a large part of the troops in the city. They were waiting for orders, all but one, of course. Captain Ishira moved forwards to preempt the words many expected from Immorale's mouth. She spoke of the innocence of the city, of the madness and senselessness of it all, of the old way, of the peaceful and moral and just life we used to live, before we were forced to take up arms against the invaders. Calaran and Serendar, Hydlar and her captains both, attempted to shout over her, to accuse her and belittle her before the assembled troops, but Immorail stood them down with an ice glare and continued to listening in silence. When Ishra had finished her appeal, seemingly all her energy spent on her own last stand, Immorail dismounted and approached her. The square watched on in anticipation. Ishra, in desperate hope, Immorail placed her hand on her old friend's shoulder. Ishra, the Tuathak have made their grave. I'm merely burying them. An Einsag burned. Hells yes. So, yeah, it's the instruments of life. Devuta 6. Devuta 6. And it is just Maldcad, but it needs to be a thingamabob first. Ah! Ooh, that's rough. Apparently we still won that, though, which is kind of based. Name something in your honor. Yeah. Okie dokie. How about... What do we want to name? How about the cavalry? No, because I'm probably going to end up deleting the cavalry. How about one of these regiments? The 143 men of Ion Aelianus' regiment. Beautiful. The season of gifting. It's proper to reciprocate these gifts in kind, you know. Isn't that right, Fey people? I did right by you, right? Right, Fey people? You want to give me another potion, bro? What do you mean, doing it for the handout? No. Also, let's choose the Everfrost Prince. I'm curious to see what you end up getting up to. Let's also get the National Unrest Reduction. We'll have to rename one of the AOD regiments to that later. I have no idea what AOD stands for. Army of Darkness? I don't fucking know. Army of the Dead. That makes sense. Love that eco. That eco is just... yes. I wonder, does this army end up going in here? There's a bunch of cores. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Alright, just need a little bit of money. Or good. Not money, sorry, Diplo points. Am I already legendary necromancy? No, shit, I forgot. We needed to continue studying. We're only... Nice. Spend the Diplo points that I need. Yeah, we're only the renowned. We need to get to legendary still. Thank you for the reminder on that. That beautiful winter court spread. Oof. Tasty take. Just got a half price level 1 advisor. Do I play with Fey Kings? No idea. I am the crazy dude that commanded 1,000 men after suggested our ruler go into a 1v4 at the beginning of the campaign. That's the one. At the very least, it's unlikely she'll die before getting lichdom. Possible, but unlikely. I mean, if it happens, I will just fucking reload. Like, I don't care. Like, we're not here for the ultra freaking hardcore, like, gotta play by the rules. We're here for the good time. The random leaders that just spawn with a huge army of undead and steamroll their region. Oh! I haven't seen that yet. Also, that's 2 real good study events in a row. It's quite nice. Let's grab ourselves some shock damage right before I engage this army. Oh yeah, that made all the difference. Mana dudes I didn't lose because of that. Beautiful. Something to manually turn on in the settings? Where the hell do you see that? Wasn't that a sub-mod from a while ago? If there are not meant to be reloads, then it would be some special mode like Iron Man or something. Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't care for that. I don't play Iron Man mode. Never will. It's not necessary, really. Alright, there's 6. That means it's done. Throughout Erend, there exists many artifacts of those who came before, renowned for their ability to channel magical power, though the people of Erend have yet to devise any world-changing use for them. That may change very soon, however. Emerail has received plans from her Fey patron, already set her resources to the task of creating a device to bring about a change in the power balance of Erend forever. A machine that will secure the winter's survival. To this end, she's begun the construction of the Frost Spear, a massive tower of twisting metal and ice that shall be seen by all for miles around. And underneath that tower, work has begun on a chamber that shall contain the very heart of winter. Hells yeah. Emerail entered the underground chamber uneasily. Even now, she could hear the noise of construction above her head, as the workers erected the largest building Emerail had seen in her entire life, even in its unfinished state. Under her direction, they had built a monumental construction, with an even greater expanse of works underneath. It was incredible, but as she walked within tunnels and chambers of the Frostspear's subterranean levels, she wasn't entirely sure that the whole thing wouldn't come tumbling down on her head. She would have to get over her fear, however, for in this place lay the key to her destiny. In the heart of the chamber, which itself was large enough that the centerpiece seemed dwarfed by its surroundings, with a high ceiling and lots of space around the object, was a large glowing white crystal, mounted on some precursor device, and punctured with many assorted tubes and cables, connected to the roof as if they were holding the crystal up. Before it stood the Everfrost Prince, looking deep into the crystal's confines. The heart of winter. And with the instruments of life gathered around you, this shall become the epicenter of your power. As Emerail approached him, the Archfey did not move, though she felt obligated to give him space. When the long night comes, you shall bind your soul to the heart, and eternal power will be yours. The words eternal power still affected Emerail in the same way they did when she first heard them. What the Everfrost Prince offered was eternal life. Her soul would be bound to the heart of winter, her phylactery, from which she would be able to control her own living body, or potentially that of someone else, though that process was time-consuming, costly, and would effectively kill whoever it was done to. The Everfrost Prince had explained that this method, while being costlier and more dangerous, with the heart having to remain within the Frost Spear, would leave her stronger and with more vitality than traditional Eastern methods of the same process, though Emerail did not know what of Eastern land he spoke of. With her own wintry magic, she could freeze her mortal body and extend its vitality threefold, only needing to transfer to a new one once the old body was irreversibly aged or damaged. This was a power fit to guide the Winter Court to a brighter new future, and with only a little more blood and sweat, it would be Emerail's to wield. A calamity like the hibernal crusade will never happen again. 400 magic study. Yes, please. So here, I need 300 gold, diplomatic points, and I need to be legendary necromancy. And apparently I need to build up whatever the fuck that means. My eco is horrifically bad. Maybe, I don't know, conquer everything. That might be what people need me to do. This might help. Might not have done that in a while. Oh shit, my good general died. Son of a ball ache. Oh, I'll take a 4-3-6-1. Alright, fair. Anything that makes forts cheaper is great for the tag. Yeah, I will be. My first idea group will be defensive ideas. Now that you're getting closer, I have to say, Gemradcurt is in your top 3 Anbennar evil tags. Estel is still the coolest by far. Morgrax, the Flying City, powered by Souls of Ghost, is too metal to beat. But Gemradcurt tops Elantir and Battery Girl for me. The flavor is just much more personal and chilling. That's good to know. No, not Einsag. My eyes bag. Our informants are located in an ancient tome that may help with your magical studies. I will get it myself. I don't think I get there in time. We'll wait for him to move. I need to build a fort on this island. Golden era for culture. That's. Wonder if there are any objectives that I can do. I mean, yeah, we'll put an end to the hibernal crusade because we did that. Killed everyone. Dak is the best lich. Dak was fine. No, sure is the best lich tag. I am partial to Estil, though I don't like Black Domain. Oh, excuse me. Oh, my first tag and my first idea is called Immorel Winter's Worth. That's cool. Winter's Wrath. How can this nation even expand? Well, I guess I'm going to need to do a bit of colonization. Eventually. How do I tolerate the Autumn Court? And do I want to? Probably not. I don't think we do that. Oh, excuse me, sorry. Right, you're moving to Arfleur. Oh, you're already there. There we go. Gonna take him to the loan. God damn, we're gonna take so much loans because eco is fucking terrible. What is making my eco so bad? Army maintenance. Fort maintenance, isn't it? Fort maintenance is sucky. unregulated research seems reasonable enough to me. We can get another one of our gov reforms. Do I want to educate the people? Missionary strength, meh. Advisor cost, yeah. Advisor cost. Educate the court. Oh, excuse me. And we march down to deal with more rebels. God damn it. No, the courts when we're done. Sure, but yeah, I mean, it would have been interesting to see what that ended up being. Event. Agenda of the diet. Oh, shitting hell. I'm gonna go and attack there. That's tempting. Oh, Murbog was over here. I guess not. The only way I found to make eco not ass with this tag was to colonize all the way to Keons and pull the trade north. Ports kill the income and you'll need more of them. A lot more. I'm sure eventually we'll get them. Research. I think we do that. Oh, excuse me, I had a real bad night's sleep last night, so that's why I'm yawning so much. Apologize. Why do I need the forts? Apparently this tag basically turns the entire country into eternal winter, which kills your, just adds a ton of devastation everywhere. Using undead would be cheaper. True. Maybe I go undead now? Your cat meows when I yawn. Well, I apologize. I guess meowing ain't that bad. Sure you can cope. Curious about what is to come and what's so horrifically painful, but I also don't want spoilers, so toss up. That's to give up and pay off the fatty loans. Have some of the fatty loans. Remember the islands in rebel hands? I already remembered it. Devastation already a thing? No. Hey, I'm even getting some prosperity. Oh, what I could do is encourage the development on those places that don't have it yet. Let's see. It's at 6% chance each month. Currently at 25. Now it's at 30. Now it's at 35. I don't understand it. I don't understand how that happens. And turn off some forts. I will when all these rebels have sorted themselves out. Alright, we got our first ID group. Cornered and driven into desperation by the all-conquering hibernal crusade, Gemradcurt fell into political chaos. Were it not for the intervention of the Strutmari Pieta, the Winter Court would have been lost. But to the Gemradcurters, it was Immoral Winterwrath who saved the realm. Admitted to the Tigan Order and an extraordinary young age of 5, I guess at an extraordinary young age of 5, Emirael expressed and soon humbled the High Court Druids with her near-limitless wintry magic. Growing up during war with the autumnal fanatics, Immorael became embittered and resentful, unlike the peaceful, patient Norm of the Winter Court. Recognizing her potential, the militarists of the Gemradcurt nurtured her rage. At the age of 11, she had bested the previous Sonad in single combat after becoming frustrated with his inability to combat the Hibernal Crusaders. Immorael and the militarists seized control of the Winter Court and soon drove out the invaders, ending their advance northward. It is whispered that she had channeled forbidden magics of necromancy, raising shambling corpses to fight, but those rumors are discouraged in the new Winter Court, where Immorael reigns supreme. Cute. I think I'm gonna get both of these so I can get that for maintenance reduction. Click the long night mission. Click the long night before you mess with the forts. Okay. No longer considered a great power. A Mayan is up there, though. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. Alright. Just have one more group of rebels to go. So let's turn down the fort. For the ritual, I gain a stability, I lose war exhaustion. Yeah, I actually lose fucking 11 war exhaustion here, but okay. Solo, yes, it is, yeah. Alright, rebels are dealt with. Hopefully we can start making a little bit of money. I do need to keep an eye on it. Money is going up. Slowly, sure, but up nonetheless. Good stuff. And the conversions continue at a very nice pace. How far are we away from magic completion? Okay, we only need one more good event. One more good event and we are necromancy magic masterpiece. Relentless drill, morale of armies, sure. Guess, my estate wants me to go to war with Dick Tier. Eventually we will. Not right this second, though. Yeah, I wonder, do these ideas change at all in the mod? Even after, like, another 200 years in the future? Because, I'm not gonna lie, these ideas not exactly what I would describe as slapping. See? If only I could have a rival to push ourselves over 50-50. Yeah. So yeah, now our forts cost a bit less. That's good. And we can select a Fey influencer. That's shit. More in here. Let's get the national interest. That. Come on, just one more beautiful, lovely little magic event. That's all I need is one more. I have a truce with the Rackapron, so I can't do anything there yet. And you're both done. Legendary necromancy. Close! It is close! We are gonna get it. And here it is. No, it isn't. Still close. I also need to dev the fucking institution somewhere. Motherfuck, I hate when that happens. I hate when that happens so fucking much. So annoying. Fey influence indeed, yeah. Oh my god, that's expensive. Fun. Mad expensive, but it is what it is. Of one fine day, during your daily walk through the private wood, you find a most curious sight. A few bowls and bags overflowing with ripe fruit and golden trinkets. The objects are in two distinct piles, one with gleaming riches, the other with covered, shrouded secrecy goods. You spy a small scroll between the two piles, elevated above the muddy ground on the plinth. The paper is sumptuous and gilded. Lilting and spider script decorate the page. Dear Immorail, fine day to you. We don't forget our friends, and we're truly sorry for what happened last time. So here's a gift for you, no strings attached, we swear. Go ahead, open the boxes. You'll know you want to know what's in them. Within. Shush, I was the only one who was supposed to be speaking. Don't listen to them. Go ahead and take a few coins, we don't need them. I'm gonna say, how can I resist? I feel like I probably could have resisted, but it is not happening. Still, I'm one. It feels very irritating that I'm a single fucking thing away. I need a new heir. I like money. I don't care what you are. War Singer 314, you kind of shit, but it's what I expected. Come on, give me that one event. The island of Eggstrel has always been a desolate place for as far north as one can go in Ireland. Few dwelt there and those who do live a quiet life of fishing in the frigid waters, but recently these fishermen have discovered something quite curious. Smooth and clear substance upon the beaches after a storm. Melted by the intense heat of lightning, these sheets of curiously one-sided glass are produced from the sand of the beaches, quickly decorating houses in Marasmus. From the inside one's home, one can view outside, while the frozen glass prohibits outsiders from viewing inside. The sleepy island of Extrel has become known as Earden for frozen glass, a true gem of the north. Fantastic. That's cute. Magic event really taking its time. Yes, it is, in fact, doing that. No one wants to work. No one wants to give me a fucking magic event either. I literally just need 200. It is what it is. I don't want to go to war until I do this event either. Come on, event. I wonder if sometime we can go in here as well. Would be kind of cute. Take another idea. Might as well reinforce speed, and also we get our next idea group. The frigid lands of the Winter Court were home to a magnificent fortress of ice, carved through primordial glaciers and maintained through careful magic. These natural fortifications provided the Snakebolts from harm in their icy embrace during the hibernal crusade, stifling their advance until Immaril Winter's Wrath counterattack. It is said that not even the fiercest fire could melt the pure blue gleaming ice, much to the dismay of the autumnal mages who tried with all their magical might to throw these bastions. Hells yeah. Glory to the army. I need glory to the magic! Well, I can take the tech, I guess. I will do exactly that. I can also grab shock damage, I guess. Better to wait anyway to get permaclaims. Oh, okay. I'm once again and great poor. I'm gonna click this one. And there's the 200. Years of research has paid off, and Immaril has increased her proficiency in the magical arts. Exceptionally based. So I am going to just build up my army just a little bit. Just a wee bit. I know I need to get to 300 ducats. So the rebels. Gain another stability sounds actually kind of nice. Alright. And now we can long night it. Let's turn the forts back on before we long night it. The winter lies victorious over the hated Tuathak, and even now our soldiers scour the remains of our defeated foe, purging those who would stand against us and turning as many people as possible towards the light of our faith. But still, there exists a grave threat to our future prosperity. There have been concerns murmuring from the east of a dragon god, and even now those in the south rally against us, sharpening their blades in anticipation for an attack. and not to mention the threat from within our borders. Disregarding the Twithic remains, there have been concerns raised about our own people, who chafe under our rule, and some openly criticizing our new aggressive winter court. But the Evanfrost Prince has given Emirail a solution to this, personal viewpoints unimaginable, so that she may secure the survival of the winter forever, and so that the Snackboth will never again see the devastation of the hibernal crusade. With the instruments of life gathered around her, and the resources of the north under her control, the previously daunting requirements for this ritual have become more achievable by the day. If Emirail is to secure the future of the winter forever, perhaps this most drastic step must be taken. Let's fucking go. Drink for this one. Again, white for winter. Emirail sat slumped in her chair, one hand held to her head and the other reaching out to the fire. Felt its warmth against her skin, savored it. Would she feel the same thing tomorrow? Would this ritual strip her of even that? Emirail thought these things, but beneath them a different worry turned over and over again. Last night she had dreamed that she had climbed the tip of the frost spear, a swirling maelstrom of snow and magic above her, and for miles and miles she'd seen the destruction of man. The buildings of Gemradcurt lie ruined, wood and stone husks were all that remained of the city's vitality. Snackboth bodies littered the streets, riders ran roughshod through them, hunting down any elf still living. Outside the city, thousands or tens of thousands lay dead. Death wrote its name in bloody characters across the snow. Emirail had awoken with tears in her eyes. Grief-stricken, though the events she had seen had not yet come to pass. She was blinded by her fear then, but now she could see two possibilities before her. In one, that grim day was a result of inaction, a future where she threw off this new power out of worry, and Gemradcurt was finally overrun by its enemies. By the realms of the south perhaps, or strange invaders from the sea. The other, that terrible other, was that her action would be the harbinger of catastrophe, that she would be the mother of death, and from her womb would spring calamity unrivaled by all others. That her hubris, her clamour for ever more power, would undo everything that had been won by the blood of the hundreds of thousands of her countrymen. Emirail sat motionless on the chair, thinking and thinking and thinking. Her skin grew uncomfortably hot under the fire, but she didn't care. She didn't pull away her hand. She had the choice, the ritual was ready, and it would begin tomorrow night. All she had to do was to give the word, and it would be cast aside. Or she could remain, go to sleep now, and go to her destiny, a coin flip that would decide the fate of her nation. This is become Erden. This is become Gemradcurt's fucking special shit. Yeah, Eternal Winter. Go ahead with the ritual. The Long Night Crisis. Oh, okay. Emirail awoke with a start. There was a clamour around her as soldiers and merchantmen and nobles rushed to barricade doors, sharpen their weapons, and plan their next move. Her wrists and ankles were bound, and someone had put a pagag in her mouth. She was still wearing the white nightgown she wore to bed. She looked around. In the heart chamber, heavily armed, such a large part of the cream of Gemradcurt's society. They had figured out her plan, were spooked, and staged a coup. Just what Emirail needed. Near one of the chamber doors stood Captain Seondar and very few prominent nobles. They were arguing about what to do next. Judging by the mention of his name, a faint shouting, and noise from the other side of the chamber doors, and the incessant thud of battering rams striking them. Captain Talaran was on the other side, trying to get in. At least someone stayed loyal. It didn't matter, though. Talaran wasn't getting in, she wasn't getting out. The binds were so tight they bit into her skin, and she could barely move her fingers. No casting spells. And then time stopped. An archfey, the most beautiful elf Emirail had ever seen, clad in white furs and armour, apparated from thin air and approached, crouching down before her. The long night has come. Now is the time that the wheat separates from the chaff, and those who are on the side of winter reveal themselves. Emirail's binds suddenly broke free. Movement restored to her, even as everyone else in the room stood dead still. Pulled the gag from her mouth, and the Everfrost Prince continued. I propose a pact at this dark hour. I grant you power, eternal life, and magical abilities beyond compare. In return, you shall cast the land into an eternal winter, so that the snow shall fall for half the year, and so that all may feel the icy embrace of winter. He offered her his hand. What say you, my champion, my faithful servant? She took it without delay. Noise. Holy writing. Captain Talaran nearly cried out in anguish when he heard a great explosion consume the heart chamber from the other side of the doors. For a few minutes he feared, believed Emirail dead, his dear leader, with whom he was half in love, slain by perfidious traitors. Then the doors opened, and he feared no longer. Immorael stood within the chamber, the inside of the phylactery behind her swirling with magical energy, wisps of it filling the chamber and spreading out once the doors opened. She stood tall, nearly majestic in her power and completely at ease, despite her injuries, standing in the biting cold in nothing but a tattered nightgown. All the plotters and traitors were dead on the floor, reduced to frozen corpses. With a flick of her hand, they rose once again in service to her. The Tygan Order loyalist, Talaran included, knelt in submission to her, but they had no idea what they truly transpired, what Immorael had become, what would soon happen to Gemradcurt. Along with the rest of the nation, they soon would. From the tip of the frost spear, coinciding with the explosion within its depths, erupted a beam of light that seemed to pierce the sky, a maelstrom of ice and wind and magic erupting over the skies of the city. Across northern Eredin, from Slegcarl to Marathmas to Einsag, the days kept growing colder and colder and colder, until the entire nation was plunged into a deep winter. Snow fell, then armies marched from the Frostbier. Armies of undead, of frozen corpses and ice-white skeletons, led by Tygan Order officers. And finally, Immorael told the people what had occurred. There had been a grave threat to Gemradcurt, a coup attempt from within, supported by enemies from without. Immorael was forced to take drastic measures. This new winter, a near-eternal winter that would last 9 months of the year, alongside the undead army streaming out of Gemradcurt, would protect them forever, as would Immorael. For Immorael had seized the power of eternal life. She urged for calm, for people to remain in their homes until the threat had passed. Hells yeah. I get the winds of winter. I want the winds of winter very much, George. And now I'm getting it here, so I guess I don't need you. Dev cost 20%. Rough as fuck. Production efficiency and national tax also go down. That sucks. Attrition for enemies, we have 4 defense, corporation cost, gov cap. Global monthly devastation plus 0.35, max hostile attrition plus 1. Winter's blanket Clara privilege become unavailable. Exceptional willpower will be removed, and I lose 2 stability, and we ascend to lichdom. Immorael Winter's Wrath has at last ascended to eternal power. Lichdom. Immortal, she can essentially rule Gemradcurt for all eternity. However, due to a rather unique path to achieving lichdom, doing so off the back of a very powerful Archfey patron, and using his esoteric designs for phylactery and purging ritual, the nature of her ascension has been rather different to that of Morgarax, the first Lich. Her phylactery, deep within Frostbier, is completely immobile, unable to be moved from its position without a great deal of effort. Furthermore, it's essentially physically and magically connected to the spell maelstrom that swirls high above the city, so that the heart of winter and the eternal winter that Gemradcurt has been cast into are intimately connected. While this means that Immorael's soul is potentially more susceptible to being discovered and destroyed, and the process of ascending to Lichdom infinitely more expensive than the traditional method, it has other, potentially greater benefits. The greatest of these is that Immorael's soul can be transferred from one physical body to another, replacing the mind of the person whose body she inhabits, rendering the transferal subject brain-dead in the process, but most notably not killing the subject's physical body, as in the normal process. This allows her to keep a physical connection to the world around her, something the Everfrost Prince seems rather keen on, likely so that Immorael can feel the cold embrace of winter. Transferal is difficult and time-consuming and cannot be done on a whim, but nonetheless it can be done without too much fuss, allowing Immorael to change bodies once her old one gets too old or damaged to use. Physical differences in appearance can be covered up with illusion magic, much like liches often do in the East. However, should Immorael's host body be killed physically, Immorael will be forcibly booted back to the heart chamber beneath the Frostbier, must first recover for a time before retransferring into a new host body. While this method, and slightly unique form of lichdom, is too bespoke and limited to be utilized anywhere else, it is nonetheless vital to the success of the Immoralian regime. Pray that Immorael uses the gift bestowed upon her wisely. For long-lived, and the phylactery, as long as it persists, will be a lich. Certain beings residing beyond the material plane may not be taking kindly to this. Okay then. I get Lich Ruler, and I'll keep the Mage State. A full power will not have the Artificer Estate. Good to know. We don't get any expended missions just yet, but I assume those are coming. And yeah, we need to have a look. And forts need to be built. The coup attempt during what is now known as the Long Night involved a cross-section of Gemradcurt society. Hastily thrown together over the course of a week, it was comprised of notable nobles, merchantmen, clergy, and even Taigan officer soldiers, as they followers of Ishera who did not know of the attempt, or previously devout supporters of Immorail, such as the late Captain Sarondar. And so the deaths of these conspirators naturally raised the anger of much of Gemradcurt's establishment. A confrontation unrest was likely, but Immorail had not expected this. It began as demonstrations, disobedience. It soon turned into small-scale raids, ambushes on Taigan soldiers and undead patrols. Then everything collapsed all at once. Entire provinces began to openly reject Immorail's rule, armories were looted, and the majority of the regular Snekboth soldiers deserted or mutinied. A great part of the people of Gemradcurt had risen up in fear and anger at Immorail's seizure of power, and her use of necromancy, long thought a distasteful but necessary weapon of war, had been unmasked for what they now saw it to truly be, an evil art, designed only to increase Immorail's personal power and unleash unrivaled tyranny on the Snekboth people. But Immorail was not alone. The greater part of the Taigan Order remained fanatically loyal. Many clergy, merchants, and nobles chose to support her either out of fear or simply to hedge their bets on the side they thought would win. But despite many ordinary people's shock and anger, perhaps 4/10 of the Snekboth population could not separate Immorail the Liberator, the victorious conqueror and defender, from whatever they said she was now. The revelation that the Everfrost Prince, an archfey of legend, had been helping Immorail gave even more legitimacy to her cause. By the end of the month, the hoped-for mass overthrow of Immorail had not materialized. Instead, the lines of a true civil war, family against family and friend against friend, had been drawn. The Red Winter had begun. SMH. A lot of fuckers. Captain Ishera Faximin and Immorail Winter's Wrath had been close. The year before Immorail had been properly propelled to the leadership by Gemradcurt's militarists, Ishera had joined the Taigan Order, the same age as Immorail, and the two had become fast friends. Though she did not have the years of experience of some of her older advisors, Immorail trusted none more than Ishera when it came to good sound counsel. They knew each other well, and they had fought side by side on many occasions. When it came to personal matters, not matters of state or warfare or whatever else concerned government, Ishera was the only person whom Immorail could turn to. But only one of them had changed. Either Ishera grew too soft or Immorail grew too wrathful, too hungry for power and scrutiny and eternal peace. By the time the long night came, there was a rift between them, indistinct but ever present. In the days after Ascension, Immorail had hoped foolishly that Ishera might understand what she'd done, might play the friend and confidant in the undoubtedly tough time ahead. But she was wrong. Of course she was. It was folly to hope for any other outcome. Soon after the Red Winter began in earnest, Ishera publicly and ostentatiously defected to the rebels. She denounced Immorail as a traitor to the people of Gemradcurt, to the old ways and to the Winter Court. Quickly, she emerged as a key figure in the resistance, and soon enough she had been appointed as the leader of a force that would strike down her old comrade. They called themselves the Watchers of the White, claiming to represent the true legitimate government of Gemradcurt, and are comprised largely of the nation's prominent rebellious nobility and mercantile class, many of whom had lost friends and family in the chaos of the long night. They are well equipped, highly motivated, and worse still, well led. If Immorail is to retain control of Gemradcurt, the Watchers must be taken care of without delay. Okay. Yeah, and devastation galore does in fact begin. I'm very tempted to just, like, go Undead Army right now. Oh, this makes it easy when they split up like this. The hibernal crusade was devastating for the Snekboth. Thousands were killed or driven away from their ancestral homes and territories, as Toethek crusaders marched north in hopes of conquering the winter once and for all. While this was undoubtedly a horrific time for the north, it had some silver lining. The Snekboth now have perhaps the greatest experience in guerrilla and irregular warfare on the continent. The Red Winter had proven this many times over. From the day whites and undead soldiers began to stream out of the Frostsphere, they and their Ordinite puppet masters had become under relentless attack from rebel fighters. While primarily this has been costly but drawn-out process of attrition, every so often the guerrillas achieved an astounding victory. Unfortunately, this had recently been the case, as the Taigan officer Order force was destroyed to a man by surgical attack by an irregular rebel militia. With their whites and skeletal soldiers collapsing to dust or going berserk without their masters, the entire army is lost to us, and will likely be costly to replace them. Whatever. Not all that painful, actually. When the Red Winter began, Gemradcurt divided itself cleanly between the supporters of Immorail and her stalwart enemies. Families and communities were divided, as many took up arms against their kin in defense of principles or liberties they would gladly die for. While the ever-deepening intensity of the Civil War dragged the populace into a corresponding polarization and radicalization, the actions of the Immoralian regime have nonetheless been instrumental in driving both supporters and neutrals alike into arms against it. The latest case of this phenomenon has been in Bilthus, where the local population has risen in revolt against Immorail, refusing to acknowledge her agents or rules. Okay, Bisthus, you fucking pile of wank. Time for War Wizard. Now that she's immoral. I think we can probably get away with that, yeah. Sure. Alright, get this sieged up. Freeze them up, hell yeah. The hibernal crusade was devastating for the Snekboth. Thousands were killed or driven away from their ancestral homes and territories as Tuathak crusaders marched north in hope of conquering the winter once and for all. While this was undoubtedly a horrible time for the north, it had some silver lining. The Snekboth now have perhaps the greatest experience in guerrilla warfare and irregular warfare on the continent. The Red Winter has proven this many times over. From the day whites and undead soldiers began to stream out of the Frostsphere, they and their Ordinite puppet masters have come under relentless attack from rebel fighters. While primarily this has been costly, but drawn-out process of attrition, every so often the guerrillas achieve it. Wait, did I just read that already? I feel like I did. Thankfully it's on a fort. Come on, lucky 71. The main army of the Watchers of the White has been crushed. Ishera's body, brought to Immorail by a loyalist Taigan Order soldier, mercifully and fortunately unraised, was buried with full honours by her old friend. But the legacy of her betrayal and those of many other nobles and merchants who followed her into battle remains. With their primary field army destroyed and many of their members settling into localized guerrilla warfare, the time has come to see that in the post-war Gemradcurt, these traitors do not raise their rear their heads once again. Families of the rebels will have their property confiscated and their assets seized, still not dare to rise up against Gemradcurt again. Hells yeah. We get creeping winter until the end of the game. Giving us some of those problem things back. That's actually kind of nice. That is kind of nice. But yeah, unfortunately we're still losing quite a bit of money. I need to defeat the Tuathak rebellion, crush the northern traders, and shatter the True Spear's army. I like the name, the image though. Tiny Island is going to be so devastated. Oh, you're right, aren't you? Need to save up the money. Which is hard when I'm losing 8 ducats a month. I mean... I think we do it. My force limit is now 92, which is fucking insane. Oh, they're on the island, the fuckers! While Einzag was raised and the realms of Autumn brought under the control of Immorail, it was believed that the threat to winter posed by the Tuathak was permanently ended. But as the Snackbot settlers, administrators, and soldiers in Glorthir have now found out, it was not the case. All across the Tuathak majority territories in the west, the Autumn Court fanatics and Tuathak separatists have risen in revolt, slaughtering any Snackbot they can find and reimposing the worship of Autumn throughout their controlled territories. But most of these revolts are localized. In Wraithall, a far more serious threat has arisen. It seems that after the defeat of Wraithall by Immorail and Gemradcurt, the son of its last ruler, one Galahad Oakgardener, fled to the Golden Acres of Dorkurt, alongside a large population of loyalists. Dispersing onto the local population, who were supportive of Galahad and his men in the face of Snackboth's tyranny, they hid there for many years, waiting for the perfect moment to strike and reclaim their home. And that time is now. Already Wraithall has fallen to a new Oakgardener king, and it seems the western situation is on a precipice. If we were to prevent another hibernal crusade from occurring, we must deal with these traitors as quickly as possible. Okie dokie. That's a lot of fuckers. Unholy multitudes of dark acolytes flock to the banners of Gemradcurt and have raised a good question. Why does the esteemed Esbag Immorail still cling to a state unsuited for such magical domination? It suggests a shift in power structure of the country, focusing on Immorail and, of course, her magical subordinates. I don't know the answer to this one. All power cost is too good. I got crusade is. Alright, bye-bye, Galhan. The Hibernal Crusade was devastating for the Snackbot. Thousands were killed or driven away from their ancestral homes and territories. I mean, we read this a bunch of times already. When the Red Wind began, Gemradcurt divided itself cleanly in between two blah 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 red already. Finish off defensive ideas as well. Because why not? Take tech. Because why not? Wish I can't blow up the walls. More rebels in Einstag. Magocracy is a no-brainer. I mean, technically, in most cases, yes. However, this tag gives me devastation all of the time. So having lots of forts is an absolute necessity. Flies don't really care about that. Yeah, having lower fort maintenance is huge. Forts is what kills Gemradcurt eco until you can pull enough trade north. It's actually a hard choice. Yeah. I'd agree. I think it's pretty hard. Northern ducads always chafed under the rule of Gemradcurt. The people were wary of the high taxes necessary for funding Morel's wars, and they resented placing their kin under the command of distant and fanatical Tigan Order commanders. After the feast had died and the integration of both ducads into Gemradcurt proper, this resentment grew and grew, and now, finally, Morel's takeover has seemingly been the pebble that cracked the ice. The dispossessed former royal families of Gelkol and Reotcab have each risen in revolt, raising sizable forces in defiance of Morel's will. If we are to maintain the unity of Snackboth people, these traitors must be crushed. I will do that, then. Though the most decisive and deadly battles of the Red Winter have been fought on the battlefield, with mage fire and spears and swords and seemingly every other tool designed to cause grievous bodily harm, since that initial period after the Long Night, when the realm divided into two over the question of whether to pledge loyalty to Immorale or rise up in arms against her, a more personal battle has been raging in the minds of many who live under the flag of Gemradcurt, especially in those of the Loyalists who every day see both the anger of their fellow countrymen and the blood spilled across the snow of their home. Many push aside their doubts and redouble their efforts in ending the civil war. In the case of our recently departed advisor, the opposite occurs. Taking with them a significant amount of state resources, they've turned traitor and joined with those wishing to depose Immorale. Fucking hell. That's annoying. That was my, person with the court mage. Can't even dev out a bad eco since relics don't raise in price until later. Yeah. Just did a quick read on the Gov event. Seems staying Theocracy could have been the choice because of fort maintenance reduction. I mean, yeah. Civil war has been bloody and destructive beyond measure. Entire regions of the nation lie in ruins, scourged by rebels and loyalists alike. While the normal process of rooting out entrenched guerrillas or striking out at Immoralian garrisons is responsible for much of the devastation, it's undeniable that the methods of Eigendrach, fanatical elven volunteers who have taken Immorale's side during the Civil War, has been instrumental in reducing much of the nation to tranquil ashes, charred and frostbitten corpses staining the snow red. Rabad Hukamar has been the latest victim of Angarach's right terror. Much of the population has been slaughtered and any rebels in the province frozen out of their hideaways. Sounds good to me. We've read that event already. And that one. Let's do a ritual. Gain a stability, lose war exhaustion, construction cost and construction time. Cool. A lot of stability in this religion. Quite nice. The northern betrayal of the traitor ducads of Gelkol and Reotcab has shown Immorale the true extent to which rebellious forces have infiltrated the nation. Across the northern provinces, people of all stripes and backgrounds rose up in support of figures who, truly, had not been politically relevant since their realms had been subsumed into Gemradcurt all those years ago. The strength of anti-Immorale sentiment was great indeed, and that strength required an equally strong response. While Tigan Order soldiers everywhere have risen to the task of weeding out traitors in the many towns and villages of the north, it was, in fact, a different force who proved best. Comprised of ordinary Snackboth who've joined Immorale's side in the Red Winter out of duty or loyalty or whatever else motivates them, these mounted warriors who call themselves the Eigendrach and bear an insignia of a white snowflake on a bloody field have proven their worth countless times, reducing many regions of the country to submission through sheer efficient brutality. They've been at the forefront of what the enemy call the White Terror, a campaign of militia actions that result in the deaths of many civilians, but also been vital in securing the regime's survival. If we're to see an end to the Civil War, this force must be organized and subsumed under the direct control of the Tigan Order, so we may employ them in even greater strength and numbers, and quickly reduce this realm to order. I get Creeping Winter 2. Very nice. Look at the disaster description. I don't have one. But that does explain why I don't have very much money. With the Tuathak rebellion put down and the last oak gardener slain before the walls of his city, the fate of our old enemy now lies completely within our hands. The events of the rebellion have shown many that the Tuathak are ungovernable, that their culture and way of life is antithetical to the rule of winter, and that we must change their ways through whatever means necessary in order to prevent another rebellion. However, with Emerald's grip on Gemradcurt slowly tightening, there's another suggestion. With her personal power growing by the day and the mechanisms of repression likewise growing in strength, it would not be possible to force the Tuathak to submit without diverting immense resources to their destruction. Whatever the choice, it will likely guide our future interactions with similarly unruly peoples. Emerald must choose wisely. So they'll be driven from half the provinces they inhabit, converting those areas to Snakemoth culture and Winter Court. In the future we will attempt to convert other people to the Snakemoth way of life. Remaining Tuathak will need to be assimilated. Alright, or accept rather than persecute other cultures within Gemradcurt, all people should be equal under their Morelian regime. I don't know. Which one do we do? Murder or not? Murder or acceptance? We are evil. Murder. They can't be trusted. Freeze them all. Well, bye-bye, Tuathak. Very based. If it was +1 cultures permanently, I'd say that for sure, but it isn't. Yeah, that's fair. Now I just need to shatter the True Spear's army. Well then, chat has chosen the 100% full evil path now. I mean... yes. Does in fact seem that way. Light up the night we've read already. Debt-wise, getting pretty bad. You don't need to be evil in Anbennar. I mean, depends on your definition of evil, really. There's True Spear's invasion. As one by one rebellious factions were dispersed and destroyed, many thought that this bloody phase of the Red Winter was finally drawing to a close, and that soon enough, Emerald would rule uncontested over Airden's north. With the news that Jahinar True Spear has recently emerged from Domandrod with the force of thousands of Strutmari and Tuathak refugees and emigres, Glade Wardens, and a disparate group of Snakemoth rebels, all these hopes and fears have been shattered. A powerful mage from Trimgarb, True Spear, appears to have been granted passage through the Domandrod in a similar fashion to that army of Aedth that once crushed the autumnal realm of Dorkurt. His army emerging from the Wintergate at Dungat and headed straight for the city of Gemradcurt. Clear that if Emerald does not deal with this new threat with haste, all she has worked on for many may unravel before her. Alright, working on it. I mean, they're probably going to split up now, I would imagine. That's one. That's two. And there is number 3. True Spear's invasion of Gemradcurt represented a crisis point for the Morelian regime. Many within this resistance hoped that it would be the final blow that would topple the rule of the hated Necromancer Queen, and that the civil war that had torn apart their home would end in their favour. But as True Spear was slain and his army was shattered on the approach of Gemradcurt, these hopes melted away. Now it seems only a matter of time before Immorail achieves her final victory. But for the regime, the destruction of Truespear's army nonetheless presents an interesting question. Though Tuathach and Snegboth rebels also contributed to his force, the majority of his followers were Paytar, be they summoned Strutmari refugees who'd fled into the Dromondrod or other Paytar states, adventurers from Pelma or Trimgarb, or Glade Wardens donated to the effort by the Fae. Abandoning the usual posts is an extraordinary effort to destroy the most existential threat to balance ever seen in the region. While many in the regime wish for the Paytar to be punished for their transgressions, there are still those who argue that there need to be no need to waste resources persecuting people who could be more easily brought to heel by other methods. Matter the answer, it will undoubtedly set a precedent for how we handle the Paytar in the future. The choice, like everything else in the north, is now in Emerald's hands. Bye-bye, bitches! Many expected the Civil War to end with a bang. Really, many expected that the destruction of the Truespear's army would signal the near-instant collapse of a faltering rebel effort. They were wrong. Even after Truespear and his Paytar, Tuathach and Snegboth force lie dead on the fields outside Gemradcurt, the rebels continued their guerrilla and irregular attacks on Tigernor forces, and the rebel armies continued to near-spontaneously rise against Emerald's tyrannical reign. Instead of a quick victory, the devastating civil war that tore apart Gemradcurt for years ended with not a bang but a whimper. As the months passed, rebel strongholds were broken, tax revenues increased, disobedience of agents of the state and Tigernor knights alike declined, and the massive amounts of undead soldiers raised for the defense of the regime began to be penned off or disposed of, no longer necessary for the new Gemradcurt, where Emerald reigns absolutely supreme. Finally, mercifully, Red Winter is over. Obtain new missions! Hells yes. So, we've gone here, and now we've got all of this to do. That is a fat amount of extra stuff. Winter is victorious. At last, victory is ours. The enemies of Winter, though numerous and appearing from Snegboth, Paytar, and Tuathach alike, have all been vanquished, and the realm, Emerald's realm, is at peace once more. But the Red Winter tore our country apart, near fatally, and Emerald cannot shake the feeling that if her reign is to survive, and her reign is to be worthy of survival, something must change. Holy text. Emerald knelt beside the fire in her office at the Frostsphere, her hands so close to the flames that the skin crackled under the heat. It reminded her of an earlier time, before she had set her own nation alight, and brought every measure of destruction to the lands she called home. When she had sat by this very fire and contemplated a terrible nightmare, calamity made manifest, ruin written across the north in letters dripping red, staining the very snow with blood. She saw, and she did not understand. She was wrong, or at least there was the thought that kept her up at night. That followed her in her most private moments, that chilled her to her core. But there was something that kept the faith in herself and choice alive. She had won the struggle she brought on her nation, and now she was in an unprecedented position to mold it to her will, to throw every resource into ensuring this would not happen again. Those words still rang hollow. Sitting in this room by this fire, she remembered making the same vow with a different antagonist. Something had to change. Emerald had to think differently. Safety, security, vital yes, but he'd really been treating them so. Or had those words just been a cover for the wrath and burning desire for vengeance that had consumed her since she saw her home taken from her by the Tuathach, since she had seen family and friend alike slaughtered like vermin for reasons alien to her to this day? The wrath that had reduced half the nation to ash. Emerald took her hands away from the fire. It didn't matter really. She had lost most feeling in them long ago. She remembered, soon after her ascension, resolving not to bother taking a new body until her old one had crumbled to dust or been destroyed. She didn't need to feel. She could exist as apart from and above her own people. But that wasn't good enough. That attitude, that loss of feeling, had led her into committing the most terrible crimes. Emerald shook her head and grabbed a quill and paper from her desk, writing an order calling for a young woman of her height and size to be brought to the heart chamber. She would not rule as a cold skeleton, but as a flesh and blood elf, who ate and slept and adored the warmth of a fire just as her subjects did. She would still have to oppress her subjects, of course, crush dissent, break rebellion, stifle freedoms and liberties, but no longer would she do so as some cold tyrant, for her own wrath and rage and personal power, but for the prosperity of her people, so that they may live in blissful harmony under Gemradcurt's banner and Emerald's protection. She would rule not as a military commander would over the Snegboth, not as a bringer of calamity, not as a mother of death, but as the Lady Mother of Winter. Hells yes. And I get claims on stuff. Oh, cool. So, That was a pretty freaking good start to the campaign. Hopefully we can sort out the eco situation, because right now it's kind of dire. The devastation is rough, but we're gonna work on that and get things set right. We will set right this ailing ship. But yeah, looking pretty good so far. We've got a lot of missions to do, but it is going to be in a future stream, because for right now, I'm going to end this one here. I feel like it's a pretty good point to end at. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this stream. If you have, and you're watching on the VOD channel, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching on Twitch right now, hit the follow button. And thank you all very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and toodaloo. Bye-bye.